Cheers,
successful 2023.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
I'll talk about whatever. My life's all kinds of crazy.
Hit the bell!
Because you have an Android.
Oh, yeah. That's what it is. Just suck.
Just subscribe already. And you said you're kind of burnt out right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I seen you also doing some new content.
Yeah.
What's up? Where'd you come up? Where'd you come up with the idea to start doing that at? That's what I want to know because you were doing for the longest time.
Yet?
Yeah, we should be, right?
All right, good.
Yeah. You guys, YouTube's telling me that 75% of you guys are not subscribed. That's absolutely insane because I upload almost every single day. So make sure you guys hit the subscribe with the bell so you guys never miss a video. Predominantly what you were doing.
Yeah.
And then now I kind of, what's the content you would be called now? Just more like lifestyle?
I don't really know. I'm just trying to capture myself, and share things that I do in my daily life or moments of my life that I think are key to my success or happiness.
Gotcha.
Or that are just relatable. You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting much creative. I'm not scratching my creative itch with the old stuff anymore.
Gotcha.
So this is something.
That's not feeling it.
No, and this is I've seen some content out there like this, and I'm like, I would like to do that and just see if I can do it and see if I can make it happen. And that's just going to be my own personal project. There's no goal in mind for it, just to see if it gets out there and if it has the effect that I'm trying to have. If it actually can reach people in that way.
Well, you said you've seen other content like it and you liked it, right?
Yeah.
So there's going to be some other people out there that like it too. That's the way I look at it. If I see content and I like it, if I see myself getting pulled to it, and I'm a big doer, so when I don't just like the content, I like it so much I want to do it too.
Right.
It inspires me to want to do it. So anytime that I see content that I like, there's got to be a market out there because I like it.
Right.
And I'm not the only one watching it.
Right.
So I'm just going to start doing it and see if anyone else, see if it picks up traction along the way.
I was more so curious to see if I could create something that captured the moment the way that I thought I was living it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then the real challenge and the real reward was can somebody feel that moment with me?
Yeah.
And right off the bat, I had people bro, I felt that. I'm like, okay, all right, now I'm on to something. Now I'm like, yeah, I can do content real easy. Tile's great, money's good. I'm still miserable. So what am I gonna do to be happy and wake up and want to do it? And then this.
So you're saying you say you're miserable making that content now?
There's something going on, inside of.
I'm talking tile work. It's just not fulfilling enough for you anymore. It's just not it.
It's just I'm beating a dead horse,
Yeah.
I've gotten the rewards out of it. I know what I'm doing with it. There's some things in motion with it, but I'm not waking up stoked
about it.
to do it anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Man. Yeah,
and I can't do a huge shift. You know what I mean? I'm an influencer to the extent of, and I'm a creator to the extent of, and there's some passion that I have for creativity within the cinema world, within that type.
You still enjoy making content. It's just not that exact content that brings you all the fulfillment anymore. I understand where you're at because
to an extent, yes and no. I want something that I don't look for the payment anymore.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So that whenever I create it, it's just 100%, just create 100% whatever I could come up with.
Yeah.
There's no goal in mind. I'm not going to be upset if it doesn't make it anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not planning on getting a brand deal because of this.
Yeah.
All my other content at this point has become, in the tile world, branded to.
Are you thinking about, you got to be thinking about other people in it though, right? Not in it, but you're thinking about impacting other people's lives.
I want, we had that conversation last time I was on here about just the way we live our lives, making such an impact on how we just
the way we portray ourselves,
just the way things tend to flourish, in our futures, and the way that we can follow through and project what we want. And look at your podcast. You know what I'm saying? This is pretty amazing, and it's normal people don't do this. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So I wanted to inspire people who are just sitting there, like they got that idea in their head, like, dude, I can do this, you know, and then they see me just be vulnerable and do it.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing a lot of people do that in like the physical, you know, world, as far as like body transformation, all kinds of stuff. And that's cool. Like, that's not me, but that was like, okay, that's really vulnerable. And I'm like, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? And then to see these people make an impact on other people, I was like, all right, I want to do that too, but with people that are just like the tile stuff, man, but
Yeah.
without having anybody looking over my shoulder, without it falling back on anybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because when you're doing some of the more sponsored stuff, there is a little bit of weight on your shoulders.
Yeah.
Right? You can't completely be yourself. You got to be yourself, but there's still some pressure there.
For instance, I was just in Florida, right, for that event.
Okay.
And
It was
there
like an expo, right?
Yeah, there's
Okay.
a trade show.
Dude, before sorry to
I
cut
did
you
a
off.
podcast there, though.
I had seen that.
Yeah.
I did see. I mean, I heard about it at least. I remember you took a picture of it.
Right.
I signed up for my first expo this year, and I'm super excited. It's called FinCon.
Okay.
And I don't want to get sidetracked from your thing, but I wanted to
come back.
say it because I want to talk about it.
Okay.
Like I want to talk about it while we're here. It's for content creators and podcasters.
Right.
And it's in New Orleans. So we'll come back to it if we make time. But I want to hear.
So while I was down there in Florida, I had run into a guy who had said some things to me on the internet. I was going through this divorce and stuff, and I don't really do the internet beef thing. I'm just like, dude, when I see you, it's like that.
I'm gonna call you
You
out.
know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
So I seen him.
This guy
and-
was hating on you,
Dude, he said some really ignorant things to me.
and he was in the tile world.
Yeah, I don't. Anyway, I don't want to get too hung up on that, but yeah, he's in the tile world. He's in the creator world. He was a rep for some companies. Some things happened,
Gotcha.
and he's got some light on him somehow. But I don't know, dude. He's a disrespectful dude. But I wanted my apology. You know what I'm saying? So I walked up to him and I was like, "Hey, you owe me an apology." And this dude was like, "No." I was like, "Oh, well, I didn't really expect that." So like we need to step outside, dude. You know, like. Because I'm like really upset about this. I'm trying to be mature, you know what I mean? And he's like, just
So you didn't come at him hostile.
no.
Like you weren't like, hey man, you owe me an apology.
No, it was like
you're gonna give
I
it
walked
to me.
up to him and I said, "Hey, you owe me an apology." And he said, "For what?" And I said, "Personal attacks at my lowest." And he said, "I'm not gonna give it to you." And I said, "Well, I guess we got a problem then." And he said, "What are we gonna do about it?" I said, "I'm probably gonna smack the fuck out of you." And he said, "Right here?" I said, "No, we need to step outside." And he said, "This isn't we're in a trade show. There's
Yeah,
thousands of
big
people
building.
around us. You
Yeah.
know, there's
A conference
and
building.
I'm kind of getting lost in the moment at this point, and like myself, you know, and I'm like, what? No, fuck this. Like, get the fuck outside, dude.
So you at this now you're getting heated a little bit.
Now I'm hot, you know what I mean? And he's not gonna do it, and I realized that. And I kind of turned around for a second. I was like, I'm gonna capture this on social media and make you look like a fool. I took that down quickly, but I got loud for a second, you know, and then I had to think about all those people that were around me that support me and my image and the things that I'm doing. Yeah, it's noble and all to stand on whatever belief I had, and a lot of people didn't disagree with me, but that could, come down on some other people. So when I'm really thinking about it with where the brand is going, where social media is going with it, I do got to dial back a little bit. Now, do I have to be somebody else? No, but I can't do that. You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying, and I almost not even. I don't think it's like how you're saying like dial back. I don't even think it's dialing back, dude. I think it's the way. This is my personal opinion. Just seeing it from like an outside perspective, I almost think it's just like you not wanting to be that person anymore, and you like not even for yourself wanting to be that person. So you're taking it down not just for the people that are watching it, but almost like subconsciously doing it for yourself in the future because you're like, this is not who I want to be anymore.
Yeah,
That's kind of how
I'd love to rub everybody's face in everything all the time.
Yeah.
And I'd love, like I shared something today, it was like, when I said just the look on your face when I said just Google it or whatever. I love to be right. I love to get mine. You know what I'm saying? But I really don't need that no more. Like, for instance, the example that I've been using with people is like when you're in public with your kids and you have to raise your voice. Like, yeah, you probably did have to raise your voice, but that means that everybody around you in public had to feel that energy too. Mm-hmm. And it's not fair to always make people be responsible for that. And I don't want to make people responsible for that, especially in a fight. We all know what that's like. You know what I mean? When people start a fight right next to you, it's like, oh my God, and nobody's responsible for those feelings. I don't want that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just the beginning. The second part of it is you're right. Like, do not want to be that way because of that. And that's kind of the other half of why I'm doing this creativity thing. Like, today I heard something like, man, I'll think of the quote here in a second, but like, you got to live it and speak it to make it different. And there's things that I do in my life that make me quiet and calm and peaceful. And those are the moments that I'm trying to capture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because those are the moments that's who you really want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to be that person getting upset.
Yeah, I don't want to be out of control.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I totally agree, man. And I don't know if we've ever talked about this, and we might have talked about it on the last podcast, but when I was younger, I had a very bad problem with controlling my anger.
Yeah.
And like I was good. I mean, I was cool, calm, collective, but it was just all bottling up inside me. And then when it came out, man, I just blew up, and I was I blacked out.
Yeah.
And I'm just yelling, I'm cussing, I'm throwing a fit, maybe punch a hole in the wall, break something, cell phone, whatever is just near me. I was gonna hit it just to break it, just try to take my anger out. And like I kind of learned like along the way that because there was times it was justifiable to be upset, and then there was other times it wasn't justifiable. But like what I kind of learned at the whole of everything is I don't want to be perceived that way. Like
Right.
I don't want to be that person that blows up and throws a big fit. Like I was never proud of any of the times I blew up. Sure, sometimes I was in the right, like somebody did me wrong. But I just like I got to the point where I just like realized like that it wasn't making me a better person, and I had to start making some changes. And I have kind of learned along the way that, you know, like I totally get what you're saying. Like I want to be like to always be right, like that feeling. But you know Dave Portnoy, you know, the Barstool Sports guy.
Okay, yeah.
Do you know he has these champagne bottles with all his enemy names on it, and every time one of them fails, he pops it.
No.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's such a funny thing to do, and like I think about that, and I'm like, that is freaking hilarious. You know, like to do something like that. It is petty, but it's also hilarious. But I can't be that person. Like I just can't be that person because I don't want to be that person anymore.
Yeah.
And I also kind of learn through books and time that like in an argument, even if I can like if someone thinks they're in the right and I think I'm in the right, even if I sit there and argue and I prove them wrong, like your post you made today, like okay, pull out Google and Google it so I can see I just want to see the look on your face when I'm right.
Right.
The problem is like in a conversation, what I've learned is that even though I got the thing right, it still hurt them because now like their feelings are hurt, like they're crushed. And I kind of learned that I'm like, even after the conversation's just ruined.
Yeah.
You know, and like now all of a sudden it went from me just wanting to prove this thing right because I'm a critical guy. Like I just want, you can criticize me all you want. Usually it's very rare that it ever upsets me. But not everyone else is like that, you know. So a lot of times it's like soul crushing for them, and it's like it's almost like he's just a freaking dick, always trying to prove. And so I kind of just learned like sometimes I do it, but because it's just second nature. Like, but I try not.
You got
to
pick
be
your
that.
battles. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And like ego is not the battle to win. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes there's things you got to stand on, and I'm not gonna be the guy yelling all the time because I want to stand on everything. You know what I mean? So it's just like with my kids. Like when I raise my voice, it's because I have to, you know, so that they listen.
Yeah.
So if I'm like passionate about something at a time, I don't want it to be about everything. You know what I mean? Like this guy just is a crybaby. You know what I mean? To that extent, or this guy takes offense to everything, or he can't just let things go.
Super emotional guy.
This shit that went down in Florida, they literally. I met him outside.
I guess I didn't see this. You must have deleted it before I see it.
I kept it real back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't going to say nothing. You know what I mean? This was my personal issue. I seen the person. I was going to take care of it. Did not go the way I wanted to. I felt like a total simp at the end of it because it didn't make anybody happy. Like, I didn't get mine. Mm-hmm. And in the end, everyone's pissed at me because I didn't just let it go in the first place. And now I have to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, well, fuck, now I feel like a total bitch anyway. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, I let it go because I can understand, you know, what's right and wrong. And then immediately those people go to this like tile group and start making like memes and comments and just talking about me. You know, like it's probably still going on. But I'm not in those groups. I don't know about it. I don't give it no attention. I did give it attention for a second. I said, do you see this shit? Maybe you've seen that video. I'm like, these are children, you know? And then some people reached out to me and were like, dude, what's going on? And I'm like, dude, you know that this is not a big deal to me. I have things in the industry I want to do. Like I have goals here. And this is not my goal. That's why I'm not there addressing it like they are. I wanted to address them for who they are and call it out because this is toxic in our industry. And this is in a lot of industries just across the board, the high school bullshit. And I'm calling it out, dude. And they're like, well, yeah, just don't feed into it, blah, blah, blah. I was like, look, if it makes anybody feel better, I'll just take it down because I'm not here to do a war with anyone. If it's going to get in the way of the goals I have for, you know, me in the industry, it's dead to me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? As far as whatever I wanted my apology for and everything up until now, it's dead to me.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter anymore.
It doesn't even matter because in the midst of all that happening while I was there, I got to talk to who I needed to talk to. Mm-hmm. And now I know what I need to do. And it's definitely not get squared up with that dude. So it's like, let that go. You know what I'm saying? Like, pick your fucking battles, you know? I got battles to pick with the people that are going to help me. So I better pick that battle if I got any battle to pick right now. Get that off the table and then go ahead and move forward together because that, you know, I'm doing so much right now at one time. We could talk about all of the, and so are you, you know, that we could just continue sharing our conundrum of ideas forever. And it's like, so I don't have time for any of that shit. I got to get into these schools. I got to talk to these kids. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't got no time to talk to no grown-ass adult baby kids.
So that's interesting you say that. So is that like where your next step is? Are you wanting to try to just impact? Or you're just trying to be more impactful?
Yeah, I mean,
what you're trying to do?
I'm taking the influencer thing and I'm running with it all the way through. Like, I'm going to take the testimony and I'm going to make it work. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, fast money is cool. I still do the same thing. Mm-hmm. This fast money impacts people's lives. Like, I'm building Porsches in people's houses with my hands. Mm-hmm. I'm not, like, killing people on the street.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, I get the glamour behind what I used to do. And it wasn't even to the extent of, because there's people who do it 20 times.
Yeah.
And further. But
it's not a proud living.
I was on the ass end of it.
No way to live.
Right. I was on the ass end of it, and it was... I put it on a pedestal, and now where I'm at now, I just be like, dude, I can resonate, but at the same time, I'm like, what a dumb fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But also, it's good. Like, those things, those times of hardship and those bad things you go through, it's someone that's never gone through it, they can't talk about it.
Right.
They just can't because they don't even understand what it was like to have to go through that or have the emotions to deal with that kind of stuff. And at the end of the day, dude, you're so young.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
you're both are.
Yeah, and so, like, it's the older you get, the less of an excuse you have that I was just young and dumb and didn't know no better.
Right.
But the older you get, you know, if like, even tomorrow, if you're doing it tomorrow, like, you're still a little bit older before, and like, the more times you do it, the less chances that saying I was young and dumb work. And, you know, like, the sooner you can just learn from it and get past it, I think is the better.
It is sad, though, that a lot of people just stay there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's an immature side of life that just stays there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But to break away from immaturity, you almost have to address it, like, head on. You know what I mean? To, like, constantly, every day, be aware of your own immaturity and understand that you're going to have to dial it in. Like, it's there. You know, your insecurity.
Where did it come? How do I word this? Where did that want for growth come from? Because, like, that's what it is, right?
Being alone.
The want to do better and grow is where it comes from.
I really don't know where that came from because, you know, like, I came from, like, prison into my industry into still struggling.
Yeah.
And I'm still struggling. You know what I mean? So I don't really know.
What's it, the struggle? Because it goes one way or the other, right? People either choose that the easy route, which is all the bad crap that never works out for anyone, or they choose a hard route, but if you can power through and find a way through it, then it's worth it.
I think it was my role models, to be honest.
I would say so too, dude.
I think it was my role models because my dad at the time had been out of prison. and been out of prison, you know, for like 3 years at this point, and like doing this thing and making good money and living well. So I was like, maybe that kept me from living that life for real, you know, because my dad bailed me out of jail when I was 18. You know, not bailed me out, but he made me sit in there for a minute, and then, you know, he did bail me out, but whatever, had to bond reduction, whatever the hell it was for that. But and I went to live with him immediately, and he was doing like NA, and I already had to do all that stuff from like treatments as a young adult, or you know, not even preteen. You know, I had been in and out of that. You know, what do they call that? Substance abuse, adolescent substance abuse stuff. So I had already gotten a wind of this NA group stuff, and he brought me into that. So I had like, that probably is what kept me from going down a real shitty path, to be honest.
So it's somebody that had also gone through it.
Yeah.
Just happened to be your dad.
Yeah.
And he was probably, I guess, like you're kind of second generation.
Yeah.
He was first generation. He figured it out a little later in life, probably. But he figured it out, you know, before you got before you were 50 years old, and then your dad's like, hey, yeah, you probably shouldn't be doing this.
We learned it together. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, he was my age whenever I was like growing up. So like, he started growing up at like 30, you know, for real. And like, so there was a lot of decisions he made while I was like 13 and on that I got drugged through with him. And he was like, you're an adult now, so you're going to be on this shit with me. And it was between getting it good and then like we hustle when we're fucking getting down. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking like making fake IDs with my dad straight out of prison after he just did 3 years for counterfeiting. And I'm going in and committing felonies, like getting stamps and things and taking people like,
Holy cow.
to him kicking me out because he thought I was a thief when I wasn't, about some ring that wasn't even ours, like just some weird, crazy, dramatic shit, you know?
Yeah.
And then the full circle is when I finally got caught up, he come to get me, and then I started to learn some shit from him. You know what I mean? Because there's a thing, so like he got it together. You know what I mean? That life that he was living, some things were happening, and he couldn't keep that up no more. And he was like, all right. And then that luckily saved my ass, I believe, too, in the end.
That's cool that like your dad was able to help you out there. And I think that's where a lot of people, if they don't have somebody in their life that can help them out. But I think now like with social media, I think people have more people to reach out to. Because I've watched, there's a lot of people I follow online that have helped impact my life in a better way in some really dark times.
Right.
Just like when I was depressed and had a lot of stuff going on, and I was all by myself and had nobody to reach out to at the time. And it was because I was following those guys that it kind of, like MGK's music, for one. Like, I remember like just being in a dark time thinking I was worth nothing. And even still to this day, dude, I have certain songs by MGK that on my worst days, I still have bad days all the time.
Right.
I freaking put this on and put my headphones in and just blast it. Just me and MGK, just playing the music. And like, it's him going through the same things I did in a sense, going through hard times. And just like, he believed in himself. And he's like, I can make it through it. You guys are going through it with me. We can all do it. You know, we're a family and we're going to do it. And I follow people like that. And that's like what got me through a lot of hard times.
Yeah.
I think that's how a lot of people are. Is there any social media people that you follow?
I was about to say, like, because
That, like,
really me and my dad, I'm only saying as a person.
Yeah.
Like, that's what a man does. Me and my dad hated each other, for real. So, like, getting kicked out. Boom. I'm not really with him that whole time. So, like, and then I end up quitting, working for him, going to be basically his competition and shit. So, in the end, I had to rely on social media. That's what really lit that fire under my ass again after I had become my dad's competition because we were not getting along. And then I was like suffering. I'm like, he won't help me no more. He doesn't really want to. We did at times, but it was hit and miss and things were life, you know what I mean? And I started seeing guys do tile on social media like badass. And I'm like, well, fuck this flooring shit that I can already do, and everyone's stressing me out. My friends don't show up and all this shit, and I have to have help. I can do that by myself. And my dad does that, and so, like, well, we had already done it, you know what I mean? And I was kind of like, yo, my dad, like, he's doing these showers too. So, like, I'm going to take this shit and I'm going to run with it, you know what I mean? Because that was, my dad doing them was my first glimpse at custom tile work. And I seen it on social media, and I was like, okay, I've done these, and I've done this, and I'm seeing this. I'm doing that. You know what I mean? And I've just ran with it.
So I was watching the guys on social media do tile work that I was like,
Yeah.
you want to do it.
Yeah, Andrew E-Tile. Let's see, Andrew Walters. We've talked about him before.
Yeah, that's right.
He actually
was a big
works
one
for the
you.
union now. But yeah, big one for me. I mean, my dad was working next door to him, and he's doing things 10 times my dad. My dad's doing hack shit next door to him doing the legit shit. And I'm talking to Alex at the same time, like, yo, I need to learn some things from you. You're literally taking things to the next level. And he's like, I would love to teach you. You're really good, blah, blah, blah. You know, your dad's pretty good too, but, you know, I can see what he's doing. And it is, you know, teach to each their own. And I'm like, yeah, I want to know how to do it right. And I never really learned much from Alex. You know what I mean? I've asked him for some tips here and there. But he was the one that got me looking.
Yeah.
You know? And he was following Andrew too. So, boom, I started
So
following.
Andrew's another tile guy?
Yeah.
What'd you say his name was? Andrew what?
Islander.
Islander? What was his channel, though? You said, like,
E-Tile.
E-Tile,
At E-Tile.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, he also owns Calidad tools. So, a lot of times, like, you'll see Calidad in the things that I'm, like, if I got a backdrop or something, whatever. And I've gotten to meet him a couple of times, and they're really cool dudes.
Where's he
They're
from?
California.
Yeah.
I think he's
met
from
him at, like,
Washington,
conferences or
maybe.
something?
No, I just started messing with him on social media a little bit. He started seeing my videos, and it just kind of starts with like likes back and forth, and then you make a comment.
Like, have you met him in person?
Yeah. Oh, at the trade shows. Yes.
Gotcha, okay.
At the trade shows. So, surfaces and coverings last year we met up because they were in Vegas. And then he handed out some stuff to like all the homies, like a chain that said Calidad that they 3D printed, and like a bunch of blades and shit. And then I talked to his partner, Tile Bro, which is Kurt Agolia, I believe is how you say his name. And they're like two of the biggest tile guys on the internet. Like, they're fucking awesome people, man. Super nice, super level-headed. Tile Bro was on my podcast, and like, you could tell he was kind of nervous. You know what I mean? These people aren't big-headed. They're just dudes who are very creative with videos and do awesome fucking work.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay,
Put it out and stay consistent, too.
that's consistent. And they're not even that consistent. They're just super creative. You know what I mean? So they know what they're doing. You know, they do the work. But it's super inspiring, man. They're just like, they're killing it all the way around. You know,
I love watching it, too.
Dude,
Even the tile stuff that you do, man. I still love watching it.
my stuff's so mediocre to theirs. You know,
That's how I feel, too, though, man. Like, I just feel like my stuff is the absolute worst stuff. Like, I'm never, ever am I happy with anything I put out.
You know what? I feel that way too, but actually I'm really confident in my shit because I see the reach. Like, my numbers are there. Why don't I have the fucking numbers like everybody else? I don't know. But I'm pretty confident in what I do, but I can see where I'm lacking. So I'm very good at what I'm doing, and I've been able to talk to some people, and they've told me that as well. So I've had the reassurance of, because the insecurity is always there. You know what I'm saying? So without this, we really don't know. You know what I mean? So that's why I posted in the group the other day, because it's collective, and like I told you, I'm going to make sure that thing's going.
Yeah.
And it's just barely going. But it's something. You know, somebody sees a...
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, that's where I'm trying to go right now.
Yeah.
Okay? That's where we need to be, so that whenever you don't have that insecurity anymore, we need to bring that shit to the table, and you be like, guys, I got all these videos, I don't know what the fuck is going on, and I can be like, look, dude, this is what I think I can help you with.
Yes, I totally agree.
You know what I mean?
totally agree. That's how it should be.
It's how it should be.
But the problem, in my opinion, with it is the people that are in it.
Oh,
That's my problem. And it's not like, I'm not saying that anybody that's in this collective group is a bad person.
Right.
I'm just saying their passion's not there.
Yeah.
And so they're like, I'm always like watching anyone that's been on this podcast, especially the really passionate ones. I'm following them, I'm liking their stuff, I'm commenting on their stuff, and I'm like watching what they're doing. And if they reached out, I would certainly some of them have reached out to me and had questions before. But I'm certainly not like some high level content creator. So like they're not coming to me for the advice there. But like I'm watching, and yeah, I totally agree. I want that as well. I found it's another collective over in Rolla.
Yeah,
Rolla,
I heard
Missouri.
about that. I wanted to ask you about that as well.
It's the vibe, and it's everything that like you would imagine like your collective for,
Yeah.
but it's over in Rolla. And I don't know why. I think, well, one, it was handled a little differently. I don't know who started it or how I got started. But they're like, it's a hit. It's okay. So there's two sections of it. Now, in my opinion, like in my head, the way I think of it, it's not like the second section isn't a legit section. So there's the collective, which is it's for what's like the name? Young entrepreneurs. Is that it's not what they call it, but basically you can be in it till up to 55 years old, and young professionals is what they call it.
Okay.
It's the young professional group, and it is part of the what's the chamber thing?
So it's part of the city hall type
Yeah,
situation.
Yeah, you pay, but you don't have to be part of the chamber to do it. You just have to be. It goes through the chamber, but you pay $75 a year,
Like
to
an
be a member.
HBA situation.
A what?
Like an HBA, the home, what is it called? Home Builders Association.
Okay, maybe.
So you probably subscribe. They just called me the other day, and we meet together, and then they vote on what the standards should be for the industry of building houses and showers and things like that for that area. You know what I mean? So, is it something similar to that? Like,
Sound-
not
yeah,
like,
similar.
hey, come participate, and then we'll kind of make an impact,
Yeah.
or whatever.
See, but here's my thing with it. It's called Young Professionals. And yeah, the dudes go to because they rent out like a restaurant, bar area. And like the first one I went to was in the middle of winter, like December sometime. And there was a ton of people there. I bet there was 50 people there. This whole bar, which was massive, was full. We got dinner. Someone volunteered for a speaker. They have people that lead the group. They have all this stuff. And then they gave me a T-shirt. They gave me a name badge for when I showed up so people can talk. But the problem was the speaker was like a guy that sells insurance, like life insurance. And I sat down and I want to talk about I don't know. I don't want to talk about life insurance. I just didn't. I felt like it was like a business selling to me, and I was there to network and talk about growth.
Right.
And so it was my first meeting, and I luckily I know a girl by the name of Caitlin Mace. She was the one that I seen get into it first. I reached out to her. She got me the connections. I got into it. I missed the first meeting. Went to this meeting. I got really lucky, and she sat me on a table with everyone that owned their own business. So everyone at my table owned their own business.
Okay.
The whole entire time, I was at this collective meeting, and I don't want them to take it the wrong way, but I was just like, I don't know if this is for me. I don't know if this is the group that I should be in. After it, everybody cleared out of the room. All the people that went to the collective cleared out of the room. Our table sat there and networked and talked business. We just talked like we are right now.
Right. And
we're just talking about things with what they everyone there. I didn't know anyone there, so it's easy. I can be like, what do you do? What's your name? When did you go into business? We're just talking. We sat. I think they shut it down at 7:30. I think we sat there till 10:30 at night.
Yeah.
Before everyone's like, we should probably go.
All right. So here's what
And
I'm saying.
that was the best part of it.
That's what we are.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I had 32. If you noticed last week, we're down to 24. And that's only because I was being respectful of somebody who invited them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But really, the collective group of us is only 5 of us. Dan Coons, you, me, Sam Lowe, Tyler Thompson. That's the collective. And maybe I could throw one more in there, but me and them kind of fall back and forth, so they're not in that group right now. I think they removed themselves. But that is the group, that table.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because the people that are in that group are only going to come and stay for that and participate in that group if they're getting that itch that everybody that at that thing that you went to was itching. They didn't come to network. They came to feel something. And it was weird in my opinion because I see that in my industry. And it's the only reason it's able to be happening is because that money's there and then they know that they can go get it. And this is just opinion, so don't hate me for this, but I see it in my industry too. Little guys going, this is who we are. Let's go get that money, these sponsorship, these grants, and then we'll make a little and then make an impact at the same time. But the impact is fucking nothing, and they just get paid, and everyone's like, what the fuck was that? And then there's 5 people standing at the event that really wanted to do something, and they kind of just go.
They're there for more than just the money.
Right. Or just the scratching each other's back oh, you do a good job. I know I do a good job by now. Fuck that. I don't want no more good jobs. I don't want to go sleep with this random girl that's here. Because that's the vibe I get from this by now is it's high school shit, dude. Straight up. And it's we're going to get the money. We're going to find it. We're going to have these parties, get-togethers, all this. And we're just going to feel good. And it's nobody's learning from this shit. And that's why I was I want this group to where I don't want the fucking nobodies. I don't want the people who don't live it for real. And we've dwindled that down to literally 5 people now. And that's what the group's going to eventually just be, is like 5, 6 people.
Yeah.
And then you're going to run into somebody
The ones that are hungry.
hungry, living it, doing
hungry
it.
for growth, hungry to be better, hungry to
They
just do
participate.
something.
They
Yeah.
support each other.
Yeah.
My videos aren't there.
It's not to get something back.
Nothing.
Like I would be happy to participate every single day just to know that I was helping out.
For example, I spent $3,000 just on my buddy's bachelor party.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think I'm not going to spend $1,000 to rent out a fucking venue and feed my people?
Yeah.
I don't want any money from you guys.
Yeah.
I want
we
you
would
to
all
sit
I
at this
guarantee we would
table.
all throw in money to go just to be like involved in it.
Well, I wouldn't even ask for anything. That potentially with the people that I'm asking to sit at my table, they wouldn't even. They go, "Did this cost money?" I'm like, "Yeah, it costs money." They probably just throw me something.
I guarantee if it happened, I'd be like, hey, we should all like just pitch in $100 and then we could like a time, and then we could always have money to rent a venue or have money to pay for the shirts or like.
I mean, better yet, we all know that we're real entrepreneurs, dude.
Yeah.
The 6 of us that I know.
Sure.
We can do this for free. I don't, my ego doesn't have to have a rented out fucking hall. We can go over there to that exit 11, free room, sit down, and we can be as loud as we want. People might be there we have plenty at our disposal to do this with. And
Yeah,
that
how many
won't cost a
outside
dime.
seating areas at a bar could we all go and just fit 5-10 of us?
Doxy Slush right there in New Haven, such a great place. I don't drink, but everybody may want to grab their little, bougie little drink and sit on the front porch. They're never going to tell us to leave. The vibe is there.
Yeah.
The energy's there. Why do we have to?
I mean, if we went to a bar, I'd buy food, I'd buy drinks, whatever.
Yeah. That's, each to their own. Let's sit down, bullshit, have a good time, go home at a reasonable hour, and then fucking crush it the next
Yeah, because they're all wanting to get up and work the next day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What am I going to do when I leave here? I came to do this tonight for fun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Even after this podcast, I'm going to edit a podcast so I can throw it up tomorrow.
You're doing a little more than me. But,
Well, I have to. Right now, I'm at a spot where my girl that works for me at the gym, she went to Korea.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, I have to run the gym every day, so I don't have some of the freedom that I normally have to be able to like edit videos and put stuff out.
And you really can't stop your momentum, man.
No,
Dude, you just can't. Like I'm
a Rolling Stone, man.
I'm moving so slow right now. I'm just lucky that I'm still rolling. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
but okay, so don't let me forget about talking about the other half of that collective.
Yeah.
Because there is something, the other half that is more along that path.
Well, I'll wrap. The collective is that though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That I need that introspection, or I guess or that outside, insight. And you're right, because there's nothing happening there.
Yeah.
So, but that's what I seen happen was like
The vibe ain't there, man.
there's no vibe
Yeah.
because there's it's either way. We're gonna make the vibe now because I see what it's gonna be, and it's no longer like, oh, everybody gas each other up. It's like we're gonna round.
I can add some people to it too.
Do it.
That would be great.
Yes, I'm literally gonna remove probably everybody but us 6, and then now it's a round table. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So you have something that you need feedback on. You need to drop it in there.
Yeah.
I want to see Sam.
I want to
do
make
it too.
videos, dude. Okay.
Go ahead.
I got some stuff for you.
Go ahead.
Because of this exact reason. Like this is okay. So I've been thinking about making because I need this. I need you guys,
Yes.
right? Because you guys are the guys and girls that are going to help me grow, and that's why I love you guys so much. And I guarantee there's been a time when you've opened up your phone and you've gotten 20 or 50 likes from Ryan Wilson on something
all the time.
Because there'll be a time in my life where I'm like, I've been slacking on helping these guys out, and I'll just go through and just blow them up. And I do it for everyone that's been on this podcast.
Yep.
If they post like consistently, but I thought about. Because I'm needing this, I thought about making a Ryan Wilson podcast page and putting everybody that I thought was motivated in it. That way I have the place, because I don't want there's some stuff I want to talk about, but you give a good idea out to someone that is only in it for the money, and they're going to take it and run with it, and they're going to backstab you.
That just happened to Sam.
Really?
Yeah. So that's funny that you say that. So go ahead.
And so that's why I need you want it to be like I'm never gonna like if you come at me with a good idea, I'm never gonna be like, that's a good idea, I'm gonna take it and run. No,
Right.
I'm gonna be like, hell yeah, man. I'm like, I wish I would have thought about that, but that's gonna kill it.
Right.
So you're gonna freaking just kill it with this. And I'm gonna hype it up, but I would never the real ones are never going to steal it.
Right.
They're going to be proud of you for doing it. The other ones are either going to be jealous and they're going to talk it down, or they're going to take it and they're going to run and use it themselves because they're just in it for the money.
Right.
And so like it's not that I'm uncomfortable with people seeing it. It's that I don't feel that those people are doing the right thing that are in there. And that's the reason why I don't share some of the stuff. So I wanted a page where I could post some stuff because I started a new product. Started making a new product. I'm not going to talk about it on the podcast.
Okay.
Because it's very new. I'm still getting prototypes made. I have one prototype, so I'll show you after the podcast.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm pumped about this idea.
Don't let me forget.
I won't forget it. But I can't come up with a name for it.
Okay.
And so I came up with a name, but then I realized that I'm like, this isn't it. Like this is. I told myself that there was some problems with it, and I've been trying to come up with some names. I have some names, but I'm just like, they're not hitting. And I really wanted to reach out to you guys. Like I wanted a page where I could reach out and just have a video and be like, guys, this is my product. This is like some ideas of like what I'm wanting behind it. And I want to know if you guys can help me come up with some ideas. Like if I do some ideas at you guys, maybe it could spawn an idea where maybe like, because sometimes it's that simple.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm just like stuck in my head where I can't get out of that track I'm on, and I can't think of something else. And if I just tell someone else, it's easy for them because their mind's not locked in.
I totally agree, dude. Because that's what I did with Sam. I called her, or I hit her up, and I said, dude, I need to bounce things off of you, and just because, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying something new, and this is outside of what I built. I built this off a whim. I know I'm good at it, but hey, I have this idea, and I need you to help me shape it real quick. And I mean, I even offered to pay her for her time, and she was like, no, dude, it's cool. And she helped me, you know, she gave me some insight on it, and I needed that to help boost my confidence in what I was about to do with this new content. Because if not, I'd just been bouncing it around in my head like, is this working, or is what I thought was going to happen happening, or is it the good, or is it the bad? I can't tell, because it's so all over the place all the time, especially when you're getting started. So I needed that, and I think that, yeah, you're right. You're going to need that. So I think you should start your own page anyway for the podcast, just because you're going to build a community that supports you in time. Like, look at Joe Rogan. I did that too, but it didn't work for me because my content isn't as marketable. It's more so about the listener relating to what we're talking about than me making an impact in short form content.
This is what I wondered. Would you rather me make my Ryan Wilson podcast group? Like it'd be like a private group, right? Where only the people that I think are passionate are allowed in it.
Like the 75 hard group. It's a private group. And if you're not, right for the group, you can get kicked out of it.
Really?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think would you rather me do that and then add everybody in it as a place to share? Or would you rather reshape the collective? Because if you're going to reshape the collective and you think like, because my worry is, I just thought I don't have enough time to run another page like that. I'm not going to be sharing content to it. I'm going to be sharing ideas that I need help with in it.
Well, it's not my group, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
The collective, is it?
It's everybody's thing. It's just some people.
Well, yeah, but I would consider you like an admin for it.
Like, yeah, I mean, if you're like not healthy and sharing things that are not like for the benefit of others and only for the benefit of yourself, you probably gotta go. But if you're living that life, that you're already there for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you add just as much as I do. Like I'm saying, the group isn't this thing that's gonna become something amazing. It was like me and Tyler Thompson are tired of people living a life and then trying to portray another, and we wanted to live it for real, and we only want friends that live it for real. But we're not perfect, but who's going to help us be perfect? Not other shitty people, not people that are like we talked about this last time, overweight, living shitty, and trying to do everything because they're the guy that's going to steal your fucking idea.
I think you should keep the collective.
Yeah.
I think you should revamp it.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we should have a meeting.
Let's do it.
Like just because I got a guy that came on my podcast named Drew Minkleski. I think he'd really like to come.
Okay.
He's 24 years old. He just started a business called Bright Investor, and it's a website for real estate, people in real estate that are investing in real estate, but it's this massive website, and it's such a great idea. This dude is so smart, and he really enjoys, he's the one that got me on FinCon. He's the one that told me about FinCon. He said he was going to go, but his baby's going to be born that month. So he's like, I'm probably not going to be able to make it. But he's big in the networking. He's really wanting to grow, and he's in the same boat as we are. But he's in the Raleigh area.
Okay.
And so for him, he's just trying to find places, and but this dude goes all over. He goes to conferences all over, and he goes to St. Louis and all this stuff. He's super young, and he figured it out. He's kind of figured out what he wants for his growth. But Washington doesn't have anything like that. Washington's surrounding areas doesn't really have something the physical meeting is a whole nother aspect, right? Because you can meet people online, but you don't get their full attention.
Right.
If I had never met you in person, it'd be harder to reach out to you. It'd be harder to talk to you. It'd be harder to figure out is this person real or not? When you go meet someone in person, you really figure it out just off their vibe. Is this person in or not?
Right.
So I think if you really narrowed it down, crunched it, once you crunched up the collective, where it's just a cleaning out the trash kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I could throw him in. I think Kayla and Andrew Zeller would really like it.
Yeah, I've actually been kind of trying to support some of their content because I've seen them on here, and then I guess is that Hydro Seams?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've seen Sam pushing some of their stuff a little bit for a second, and then so I'm the same as you, dude. I'm trying to support all these people. You know what I mean? I'm trying to bring some to my. She's in the group now, actually. I think Kayla. I've seen her say something about it one day. I was like, bet.
She is.
So
I think I told her to join it.
I think so that's one of them people. You know what I'm saying?
But
it's bigger
I think
than
people,
we think. You know what I'm saying?
I think people feel it though. You know what I'm saying? I think people can feel the weight of the ones not putting it in.
Oh, duh. So, but that was me too. You know what I'm saying?
No, dude. No,
I wasn't
different.
doing. Because I made the group with Tyler, right?
Yeah.
I'm in Utah, not doing anything.
I don't think it has to be active every day.
But it wasn't anything. You know what I'm saying? So a bunch of people got added right when it got.
If I shared something, you liked it.
I still do.
Exactly. And if I shared something in the page, you were going to like it.
Yes.
You might not have input on it, but you'd still like it because you it's just a thing of support, man.
Well, I might even share your shit to the page.
Yes,
Lately,
you
I
do.
haven't been because it's been giving me an issue. I'll share it and it won't share the reel for whatever reason. It'll just share whatever I said. So I've been kind of slacking on it, but people know that I give a fuck. You know what I mean? And that's all I care about.
But there's some people that are in there that because I was friends with them on Facebook, but I wasn't I had never met them before, but they popped up as these people are in this group as well.
Right.
But they're just lurking.
I really don't know who these people are. I trusted that some people were going to have some other individuals they wanted to bring in.
Yeah.
None of them.
Hold on.
Good.
I'm going to mute the mics.
Okay.
I'm going to cover my mouth. I'm going to tell you a name.
Okay.
I don't want to say it out loud, though.
Okay.
But nothing.
That's hard.
And I've reached out to this gentleman
Biggest
multiple times about the podcast. He might be your sport, but he didn't. The vibes I got off him were just don't give a damn.
That's the vibe.
It was it wasn't even this. It was more of the I'm just doing it for the wrong reasons vibe. Every time I reached out to him, it was excuse every time kind of thing. It was no support. I threw support, no support back. It was just block out, don't care about anybody else. But
DMX has that quote that says, just trust people to be who they are.
Yeah.
I fucking trust and he is, man. I fuck with because of that. I expect nothing from that man but inspiration. Mm-hmm. He's making the money.
Yeah.
That's all I give a fuck about.
Sure.
He called me when I was on my down and low outs.
I don't want to call anybody out.
Sorry. Yeah, you can get that out.
It's fine.
Edit it out.
Yeah, it's fine.
Edit it out. But
I'll just
say supportive of everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's he doesn't like my shit usually. These people don't, but I accept them to be who they are, and I don't need everybody that inspires me to support me.
Yeah.
That's how I become sour.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? But you're right. You know what I'm saying? Because
I never met him in person either.
So it's
I didn't know if maybe some people just are busy. There's some people that they don't support me online at all, but if I see them in person or if I ever call them, they're 100% supportive.
So my two best friends talk the most shit on me. I think they're still supportive though. You know what I'm saying? So it's even the ones that aren't supportive visibly still root for you in the background. Mm-hmm. they're not going to gaslight you. I think a lot of times they think that shit's gaslighting. My other homies are the same way, except for they're worse about it. They're like, you're fucking stupid for doing this, but it's kind of cool that you're making it work. You know what I mean? It's like, man, I fucking hate you guys for this, but it keeps me in check, dude. For real, like, if too many people supported me without, like, having their own opinion, I would just be fucking Jake Paul.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I would have a huge...
No, it'd be worse than that. I actually like Jake Paul.
I do too.
I think behind the scenes, I think he's a good
is this
guy.
his shit?
No, that's Logan's.
Logan? Okay, I don't care about any of them. They're making money, dude.
Yeah.
And then sometimes that's just what it comes down to.
But dude, you should look into Jake more because he's got a whole side of him that you don't even know about.
Yeah, anything. You know,
He's a good dude.
I'm bad at consuming content, dude.
Yeah.
You know, it's like yours. If I don't see it on my feed, because I'm scrolling. Sam talked about it with you for a moment too. Like, when I'm on any platform, I can't even, if I see one good video with a sound, stop, save the sound. I don't even finish the video. Boom. Next one.
Yeah.
This sucks. Boom.
Well, your mind's in creative mode, right?
Always.
Yeah.
So, like, I see your content, it goes to support mode. I don't even care what's happening. I know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the other person doing. It's kind of fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But who cares? Real quick, share, so love both people. Let's keep it moving. You know what I mean?
Well, like when you're watching a video, you're not always watching it because you're like watching it for entertainment. You're looking for ideas. You're looking to spark that content creator creativity. Yeah. But you say you're kind of burnt out right now.
Yeah, dude, I don't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
It's a me thing, dude.
How long you been there? Let me ask you that. How long you been there?
Fuck, 20-something years, man.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about in this burnt out state with the content. How long you been in that mindset? Where you been feeling it come on? Because it doesn't just hit you one day.
There's some depression in there or something.
Yeah.
Man, for real, because it's been like...
But could it be as simple as the content you weren't doing was just not fulfilling enough anymore?
No, it's not that simple.
No, it's not.
It's not that simple. It's like, that shit's working, dude. I'm making fucking pretty decent money for me.
No, I'm not talking the money side. I'm talking about your
so,
happiness side of it.
I've never had that, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm still figuring that out. I was miserable. This was my escape. I was not using alcohol for a long time. I wasn't even using marijuana for a portion of this. My business has been my escape. Mm-hmm. And I have to realize that. And now it's like, okay, I've dialed this thing in. So far, I can't keep creating. I got to dial it all the way into what it is. And that's being worked on. You know what I'm saying? And when I realized that that's being worked on and that I'm obviously able, I realized I still wasn't fucking happy, dude. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know, and I realized, like, I'm not living totally the way I want to. I'm not in the gym every day. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm not eating very well every day. I'm not waking up on time every day. Mm-hmm. But there are things I do every day. And usually it's all those things. So I'm okay. And I'm making my progress because I know what I got to do. But it's just like there's something in there that's keeping me from doing everything. Like, you know what it's like to kill it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You wake up hungry. You do it. And you got shit ready to do it. And you're ready to plan to do more. And I ain't there right now. I'm like, God, can I just get this shit done? Can I just get done? Sunday would be cool if I could just sit down. You know, like you said, that's where you're at. I need to sit down on Sundays.
Well, Sunday's my days off. Right. Yeah, I take that day to myself. But I can tell you right now, I'm not fully happy. I'm not even close to fully happy. Yeah. And I hate it because I should be. Like, I should be, right? Because I remember coming from this state where I remember just never thinking I could even buy like a $10,000 vehicle, and then I bought it, and then I bought a house, and I bought a rental property, and then I bought my business. And like through every step of the way, right? Like everybody thinks that I'm supposed to be happy because I achieved this. Right. But along the way, I was just like shooting in the dark to try to do things that I thought were better for me and like try to create some happiness for myself. And along the way, I kind of started figuring out what made me happy. And what makes me happy is working and achieving things and accomplishing things, but also giving back and helping people. And so what I realize now is I'm not happy in my small business. I love my small business, right? I love my gym. I love my members. I love everything about it. And a lot of people, whenever I tell them I want to own a corporation, they think it stems from greed. Right. And it has nothing to do with greed at all. Right. It comes from the fact that like I want to own this massive business that I want to work with. I want to work with like very skilled, intelligent people every single day on like the marketing side. I want to work with CEOs. I want to work with presidents. I want to work with like presidents of my company.
It's just to build something.
Yeah, I want to work with smart people that help me grow every day. And I want to go to these expos. And I don't want to be the guy at the expo going to the booth. I want to be the booth at the expo.
Right.
Having guys come up to me and me show my product to them. And I want to be doing that. I want to be paying people to use my product. I want to send people my product and have, my product.
Is that going to make you happy though?
I think it will, because through that stuff, because I enjoy it. I enjoy getting up every day and working. Where life starts to suck is like, I want to, like for my business, I love making content. I can't do it every day, but I do enjoy it. And I know it's important for business. But the days that I'm like, I'm down to make some content. Like, let's make some content this week. Like, I'm pumped up. Or maybe this month, or maybe 6 months. I want to go work with the marketing team and the social media team, and I want to make content for 6 months, and I want to get my fix on it. But then when I'm ready to be like on just a sales team, and let's go sell some products, and let's sell to Europe, and let's go sell to freaking South America, and let's go sell to Mexico and Canada. Like, I want to go and travel and do that stuff with them. Like, that stuff sounds fun to me, and it's the journey of it all that just seems so fulfilling. But also what I like, but also what I like is the fact that, like, I want to give back in so many different ways, not just financially, but I want to help people. But I can't even do it in my small business because, like, right now, I kicked my AC on, 3 of my AC units didn't work. I have 4 7.5-ton AC units. Each one of them is roughly estimated $30,000 each, and they're 8 months out. I got to find a way to come up with the money to fix it, to keep my business going, but there's not enough money in it. And so now I'm stressing not about how I'm going to grow my business, but how am I going to fix my business just to keep it alive? And that's the problem with small business is that, dude, people are trying to Jew me out of money all the time.
Yeah.
They're trying to sneak in and get a day pass for free. They're trying to find a way that they can get $5 off their membership every month, or maybe try to get the student discount every month, or, just try to skeet me in some way. It's just like the problem. Or this too. I had to deal with unclogging a toilet. This past month I had $500 in plumbing bills. I had to have a plumber come out twice and unclog tampons out of the bathroom. And that's after I had to spend time trying to unclog it myself, realize I didn't have the tools.
See.
And when something goes down, like my AC out right now, I'll get 50 calls in a week. Hey, man, Snapchats, or I deleted my Snapchat actually now, but Snapchats all week about how hot it is, freaking calls, texts, voicemails I don't want to deal with those problems.
I know how you deal with it. You open another gym.
No.
Yeah.
It doubles down.
No, because you sell that. As soon as you open, you sell.
Sell the old one.
No, your new one. You keep the old one. That's your service. You're talking
like a franchise.
Yeah, you're gonna sell a program. When you open, you're gonna promise a program. You're gonna sell it for a premium, $500. You're gonna get 30 to 100 of these contracts, if not more. So when your gym opens, you're gonna have all this money already. All you have to stick to is those few weeks. Then you sell. You already have a buyer before you do all this. So they're ready. It's passive income for them. It's a one-time deal for you. Your gym saves. You still keep your role in the community. Mm-hmm. You get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You just
I want to be
that.
involved.
You do, but you don't, because you don't want to have to pay for what's going on.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's why I didn't want the franchise out, because I didn't want all the extra problems.
You don't do the franchise. You make your own. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like this gym, you could make your own brand, and you could start building your own and just build, promise, sell. And I heard this somewhere else. Don't get me wrong. This ain't my idea. I heard this, and I was like, that's fucking genius.
Yeah.
You could do that with anything.
Yeah.
So it's just about sitting at the table with the right people. So when you say, hey, dude, I need 30 grand, I'm like, dude, I'm not very good at like coming up with 30 grand. If I come up with ideas to get 30 grand, I heard this one, and I bet you could pull it off.
Yeah.
And that's all you need to hear, because you're smarter than me. I just gaslight the fuck out of you, and I don't need anything from it. I'm just like, hey, that was awesome. You know what I mean? And now you keep scratching my back and making me feel good for doing tile. And your next gym, you're going to have me do all the tile. And that's how I end up with, 30 Mexicans working for me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So And I say that because they're the ones that work the hardest.
Yeah.
And people, you know what I mean? That's where my mind is always thinking, how am I going to move forward? And it's like, okay, I'm going to use the disadvantages to my advantage. And that is what it is. The hardest working, most of the group with the most referrals. You know, I'm always thinking like that. Some people are like, oh, man, no, fuck that. I'm thinking money. I'm thinking what's going to happen next. I can't be a one-tile guy
I want to be on the
forever.
ideas team.
Right.
I don't want to be working. I just don't want to be putting in the physical work.
Or maybe my actual idea. That was a goof-off idea, but that's the thing is, like, I have so many ideas.
Just spitballing.
You know what I mean? Really, these kids are going to start doing this tile around here, and they're going to be the ones that are going to stop going to jail, and they're going to start doing glorified labor. And that's who's going to come work for me in the future.
Yeah.
They're going to do my work. I'm going to sub it to them. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that's my plan. Not really. I'd rather get them off the street and inspired. Maybe they do crown molding. Maybe they do pools. Maybe they do landscaping for them. But the thing is that your creative edge is worth $1. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you're right. You're stuck kind of in this thing that's never going to reward you because it's just fitness and whatever. And only the people that are living it are going to reward from it. And you guys are going to be like, hell yeah. But after that, what is it really doing? You know what I mean? So, like, I love to see a dude that had nothing going for him get that fire going for him again, and then take some creativity that he had over here and turn it into this thing over here, and then go, okay, now I'm going to provide this service in my community forever. You're doing the same thing, but, you know, obviously you're feeling like it needs to go a different direction.
I don't. The content for me is all about just giving back.
Yeah.
And like, dude, I make all kinds of content that isn't even like in the content itself isn't giving back, and people don't understand it. But it's like I'm building this content to try to raise awareness for this other content that I'm making to try to give back to people. Like that's what this podcast is like, you know, trying to share your story and share the stuff that you're doing for all these other people and the stuff that I'm doing for all these other people. And I do some stupid stuff on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram that is just stupid, but it's just to try to tag my Ryan Wilson podcast in it, just in hopes that they go over and I get another follower and I help somebody out in it. Like that's like the whole idea behind it. But I personally, I don't get anything out of the content really.
No, not yet.
For me, it's all comes from business. It all comes from like a business that I impact.
It doesn't make you feel good though. Dude.
That's
all that matters.
Yes.
So to me, I was talking to Sam about this. I said the real reward from content creation comes from watching yourself do it, and then like 2 years down the road, or a year, 6 months, whatever, and you're like, I've changed so much more confident. I addressed these things that I was kind of catching on to about myself that I didn't like, and now I'm like way better.
To me, that's the passive income of content creating. Yeah. The people that reach out to me about wanting to open a gym and they watch my video and they're going to open, like they're asking me questions about it, I'll drop everything and just sit there and talk to these guys. Yeah. Just because I'm like, oh, how cool. That's the passive part of it. The active part, like the immediate thing is just sitting down and having conversations with people like you. Like that's, to me, this is the content I love. Dude. The stuff on TikTok and the silly stuff that I make, like the silly video I made today, that's just to try to get attention for this, but this is what I like.
But that shows the real hustle in you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your insecurities aren't in the way, like, I can't do it. No, you're like, fucking, all the barriers are down, dude. I'm going to do whatever I have to get your attention because this is the goal.
Yeah.
And the goal here is way more important than whatever I can come up with about me. This is about you getting over here and that you benefiting from this.
Yeah, dude, that was a hard one for me to get over.
I bet.
Just because I was like, I don't know, man. I just feared that everybody was going to judge me and think that stuff that I was doing was stupid. They do.
They do.
I don't care though.
That's right.
I don't look at anything, dude. I just post it. I mean, I look at the comments because I want to make sure I reply to any comment someone might have, good or bad. But other than that, like I don't
read some of my comments back today. 2, 3, 4 years into this, you want to read some of my comments back to people who hate on me? We could read them live. I don't think you'd have to beep because I'm just like, dude, just call me. Can I call you daddy? You know what I mean? Just let me eat your ass, bro. Because you obviously think that you are so great, and I will just let you be King Papa Tile Guy, and have nothing. I don't have to prove nothing to you, dude. I know you got shit to talk. Yeah. So I'll just say dumb shit back to you and get on your nerves, and that's it. It doesn't affect me for some reason, something I did affected you. I don't know why, but if you allow me to affect you, I'm damn sure going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Let me do it.
I just hit him back with love.
I can't do that anymore because I was like, fuck it. You know what I mean? Sometimes I will just blow kisses, but I'm blowing them kisses to get on your nerves.
No, dude, I will go to their page and I will find something on their page that I like. Like there was a dude that commented on my video. I shared a thing about my billboards. I'm like, easiest way to make $200 in a day. And it was me and my friend Jimmy. You know Jimmy. Yeah. We went and did it. He helped me do it, and I just recorded the whole thing and did a time lapse of it. And some guy just commented, is like, this is the biggest waste of time. He's like, I could be driving a truck making more money, or I make more of my 9 to 5 in an hour than I do. And I just went to his page, and he had a semi, like he had like a Peterbilt on there. And I'm like, yeah, man. I'm like, it looks like you work really hard. That Peterbilt you got on your page is awesome. Keep up the content and stuff like that. I just hit him back with all love, dude.
Oh, that's it.
And just, I after that, I didn't get nothing back. But that's who I am now, because like, it's just, I don't know,
man. It's good to be that way, though.
I don't want to throw hate at all. I don't want to make, dude. Okay, let me talk about this story. And dude, if I make someone feel bad, it will crush me. Like if I make someone feel bad, it crushes me anymore, because I don't want to be that person. And so this past weekend at my gym, I had an instance a while back, like 6 months ago, where this guy and girl came to my gym, and I caught her sneaking in. She was using her boyfriend's car because she only came home on the weekends. So she was using her boyfriend's car, just coming on the weekends. And she came in for almost a month without paying. And I called him, and I texted him, and I just said, hey, man, you're not allowed to let anyone else come into the gym using your card. When I catch people doing that, I banned them, so don't do that. He told me he didn't know. She texted me and said, hey, I'm sorry. I'm going to get paid up. She basically just told me, she's like, I didn't have any money. And she's like, I thought it was kind of a waste just to be paying day passes because they're so expensive. And I make them expensive because I don't encourage people to just keep coming day after day. Like, right. First time's free. If you need a couple extra days, yeah, it's $10 a day. Right. So it's not expensive, but it's not $1. It's not free. And so, but it's to encourage people to get a membership. Well, so she started paying. Well, this past weekend, I went in on Saturday, and they were both in the gym. And now I'm like, because I know she don't live around here. So now I'm like, that's kind of weird. I want to make sure that she's still paying. Went in, her account was shut down. And I went, her payment shut down, her account shut down. And she tried to swipe, and it kicked back. And I was pissed, dude. Like, I didn't freak out, but internally, I'm just red, boiling. Shut both her cards down, didn't say a word to them, and just walk out. That's how I do it. Like, if I catch someone stealing from me, your cards just shut down, so next time you try to come in, you try to swipe, nothing. Right. So I'm leaving. The guy left, and I'm sitting out in my truck getting ready to leave, and then he came back, and he's going to go walk inside and use his card. Well, I just wanted to save him, like, the embarrassment of going out there and swiping. I said, hey, man, your card's not going to work anymore. You and your girlfriend ain't welcome back here anymore. And he's like, what? And I said, I told you guys last time, you guys pay or you guys don't come. And I was like, I shut your card down. And he got pissed, got upset, left, whatever. And then they came back because she was still there. And then she came out, and I had walked back inside, and they both had came to me because, like, he came up, like, trying to open the door because he was going to come in and try to dispute this. And I came up, and he's like, this is BS. He's like, she was paying. She had no clue she wasn't paying. And I'm like, dude, she knows. Like, I was like, it got canceled somehow. It's on you guys. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I have a policy, and it's got to run this way. And he's upset, and, like, he's, like, out in my parking lot, like, mad, trying to yell at me. I was like, if you want to talk about it, man, come inside, come in my office, we'll sit down, and we'll look at it, right? And because I had already looked at it all, I was for sure she had set me up, like, where she was just trying to sneak in. So I break it down to him. I'm like, hey, so this is the last time she paid. This is my last transaction. Payments don't get canceled for no reason. I'm like, I have people that haven't been paying for 6 months that their card still tries to go through every month, and it fails. Right. I'm like, there's no reason her card transaction would got canceled unless she canceled it herself. They get pissed. They leave. In my head, I'm like, you guys are just, because I get it all the time.
Right.
People try to be sneaky. Of
course.
They try to, they quit paying, they try to sneak in, and they're like, they play dumb.
Yeah, their narcissistic tendencies really come out.
And yeah, they're in the wrong, but that's why they're mad.
Right.
And I'm like,
they've been caught.
yeah, and they don't like it.
Right.
So I'm like, whatever, man. I'm like, what do you want me to do? I'm like, this is the second time I caught you guys doing this. And I'm like, you're just letting her in. I'm like, I know you've been paying, but she's not, and you're letting her in. So now you're guilty of association with her.
Exactly.
You're part of the crime, basically.
Right.
So he's mad. He's left. I feel bad because I'm like, man, they're upset. But I'm like, I can't keep letting people in for free.
No.
I'm like, I got a business to run. And I even told him that. I'm like, I got a business to run here, man. So they left. I went home. He texted me. He's like, hey, man, I still think this is wrong. He's like, is there a way that... He's like, she says she doesn't pay in. She's looking through her transactions. She didn't get no email receipt, no nothing. He's like, and I'm like, I was like, man, I don't know what it is. I'm willing to hear this out. We can, if you want to meet with me on Monday, we can look over all the transactions and see if I'm in the wrong. Because if I'm in the wrong, I'm willing to admit it, and I'll let you guys both back in the gym. And so he's like, well, she's going to be gone already. But he's like, I can meet you, but she'll be gone. But he's like, I'd really like to try to figure this out. I'm like, sounds good, man. I'm like, if it's not your fault, I'll take the blame for it, and we can meet up. Because, I could have handled it a totally different way.
Right.
I could have been mad just like he was.
Right.
I could have been like, F you, dude. You're sneaking in my gym, dude. You don't belong here. And old Ryan would have done that.
Right.
Old Ryan would have freaking got mad and fought back at him, and we probably would have been fighting out in the parking lot.
Yeah, but old Ryan wouldn't have a business either.
Old Ryan wouldn't have a business.
Exactly.
Right. And I had to learn. And now I had to learn to keep calm and know that I could be wrong.
So were you wrong?
Yeah. Wow. So what ended up happening was I went home and I'm thinking on, dude, I come straight home, get on my computer. I'm looking on everything. I'm like, am I freaking wrong? Because they're upset, and they believe they're not wrong. And I'm like, even though I don't think I'm like, I got to prove them because they're basically innocent until proven guilty kind of thing. Like they can keep fighting until I can prove that they're wrong.
Right.
So now I'm breaking down everything. I'm going to payments. She didn't have a payment go through. So she didn't pay, but there's also no decline payment. Payment's just gone. And I'm like, okay, what's going on here? So I'm looking at everything. I'm looking on every type of thing that has a payment transaction, anything, trying to figure out like what the hell's going on here. I'm breaking it down, and I try to go to lunch, and it's weighing on me so hard. I'm like, it's a Monday thing. Deal with it on Monday because this is Saturday. I wasn't even supposed to go to the gym. I went in to help somebody else out, and this all happened. So I'm like having a beer, trying to relax, can't relax. And I'm like, damn it, am I wrong? Am I freaking wrong? So I'm like, I got to go to the gym because the next thing was I checked all my payment transactions, and there was something funny with the payment transactions because there was none. No decline, no approved. Didn't make sense. She had it all the way up until that last month, and then it just disappeared. And it should show a disapproved or something.
Right.
Nothing. So I'm like, what's going on? Like the girl, like I said, I have transactions from 6 months to a year ago where someone's payment doesn't go through, and it just keeps going through. We don't delete it unless someone tells us to delete it.
So what happened? She get like a new debit card?
No, even then it will still show me.
Okay.
It will still show a decline thing. So I went in, and I'm like, I got to check phone transactions because I was like, I bet she called, canceled it over the phone, like canceled the transaction. And if I could find the day that the transaction was supposed to go through, like the time gap from when her payment went through until now, if she called in at some time, it probably shows that she called in to cancel the payment. And then that's probably why it didn't go through. And I was like, oh, she's probably gone. Her payment wasn't going through, so she canceled it. Nothing. No phone transaction. Now I'm getting worried. Now I'm like, okay, might be me. It might be something on me, but I'm not at the gym every day. So there's another factor in it that could have played it. So I'm looking back at text messages now. Did she text me? Did my worker text me? What's going on here? Like digging into it deep. The day before her payment was supposed to go through, there was a girl that was the same age as her that had the same last name.
Oh no.
So she was supposed to cancel on the 27th. She came in on the 19th. This girl came in for the 19th on the last time, and she had the same last name, and she's about the same age. The girl at the gym, my worker at the gym, had texted me on the 27th and said, "Hey, can you refund this girl? I was supposed to refund her, but for some reason something happened and it didn't." And so now I'm looking back. I'd seen that the last day she came was on the 19th. The other girl's payment was supposed to go through on the 20th. So what she did was she got the first name mixed up.
And refunded or
Deleted the payment of this other girl so that their payment didn't go through, and it canceled the transaction on this girl's membership to make it look like her payment didn't go through, so her account got shut down. She shut the account, and it was just such a crazy, weird series of events, because if it was the next day, her payment would have went through all the way to the next month. It was just such a crazy thing where it was one day with the same girl with the name, but it was just one day off, and it just, everything fell apart. And now, and my girl's in Korea. The girl that works for me is in Korea, so I can't even ask her what's going on.
Oh, this was recently.
This is this past Saturday.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude, I spent probably 8 hours trying to dig into this, try to figure out, and that's the only thing I can come down to is that's what happened. And it just was like a crazy bad series of events. And
so what'd you do?
So it's 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon now. And I'm like, I messed up. And I was like, I won't sleep if I don't fix this. So I just called the girl. I was even asking my girlfriend, I'm like, because the boyfriend was the one that was like trying to dispute it. The girlfriend didn't do a whole lot about it. She did say like, I didn't know. And I'm like, listen, I can't, I don't know because it looks like you deleted your payment. But she didn't do much of it. The boyfriend was like the one trying to dispute most of it. So I was like, do I call him? And I'm like, no, the girl's the one that is in the accusation here. I got to call her. And, and they're probably 21 years old, dude. They're young. And I'm here at 30 years old accusing someone of something they didn't do. So I called them and I said, hey, luckily they answered. And I'm like, hey, I just wanted to call and let you know that I've spent all day working on this. Like I think that there was a possibility that I was in the wrong. So I could not get it off my mind. So I spent all day working on it. It looks like I was in the wrong. It was a unique, crazy series of events, but I think I was like, I do believe that your payment got deleted by accident and that it's not your fault. And I want to just let you know I'm sorry, and that I was like, I want to offer you and your boyfriend basically the rest of the summer, 3 months for free. So both of you guys can have the summer for free to the gym. And I just want to let you guys know that I'm sorry. I was like, if it wasn't for the time before, the thing that happened before, it might have got handled differently. But I was just like, I thought you guys were just trying to sneak in again. I was like, and that's what I do. I just shut people's car down if I catch them sneaking in.
So what did they say to you when you said that?
They said, they're like, hey, they were very nice about it. They're like, hey, I appreciate it. Because I like them both. They're two people that I really like in the gym. And I even told them, I was like, I don't want to kick you guys out. But I was like, you can't keep doing this. And you guys are showing me that you're going to keep doing it. Right. So you guys are out. But I was like, I don't want to. But I was like, I have to. I got a business to run. But they were very receptive of it. And they're like, hey, I appreciate you calling. They're like, we were just really thrown off guard. We couldn't understand it. We didn't know. We legit didn't know. And they're like, we understand. And I was like, I hope this is a good enough apology. And I hope my offering here is enough to make up for it, because I'm like, I want you guys in my gym. I really do. I was like, So for a fact that that's what happened, though? I almost guarantee it.
Okay. So it's like, but what part of you feels like that you're just kind of, it's like, this is what needs to have happened so that I have a solution to it? And is there any insecurity in your mind it's not what happened?
As soon, no.
Okay.
After I did, I had to figure out, I had to look at the text, the name, the day, because it was literally, I went to this other girl's profile, and it was the day before her payment. This other girl's payment was supposed to go through. It got deleted. I mean, I have it all the way down to transactions. It's a
real own it moment.
It was a real own it moment, man. And I walked out of there. Luckily, they accepted my apology. I seen the boyfriend in the gym today. I was happy to see him, and I was like, they took it very well. I even sent out a text after it, and I said, hey, I hope that my apology was enough to you guys. I hope what I offered was good enough. If you guys don't think it was fair, I'm willing to work something else out. But I really hope my apology and my offering was good enough for you guys.
If it means anything, I've been there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think what you were saying that on is, don't be the asshole because you might actually be the asshole. You know what I mean? And it's like, I feel you on that a lot of times. Like, I've been wrong. You know what I mean? People have proved me wrong, and I just had to accept it. And a lot of people want to just remove that from the world, but it's so much more on your character if you just own that to the world. But it's harder when it's like, it's one thing when it's just some negativity on social media, but when it's something that's like within your real business, your real life, and you have to own it, and it's kind of gray still at the same time, it's really only on you to just make it right. You know what I mean? I've been there. Like, I don't know how long you want to keep this going. I could go for days. It's like an hour and a half, but bring this story into it just to be relatable with you.
I'll say one thing just to step away from that, is that whenever I was after that phone call, I went and had a beer. I took a shot because I'm like, I gotta get this off my mind. I couldn't get it off my mind because that's what that kind of crap does to me now. It weighs on me. As soon as the phone call was over, and they generally seemed like they both seemed like they took it well and like appreciated the call. I felt like I did the right thing. Everything went away.
Yeah,
I felt good.
And see, my situation it did get rectified. Same thing, not maybe to the same extent, but I'm on a job and I have a lot of people telling me what to do. And I end up doing the floor the wrong direction. You know, and I've had one person do this way, one person this way, confirm that it needs to be this way, and then the last person comes in and tells me it was wrong. And I'm like, no. You know, I don't want to accept that. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. This is the other people involved made it this way. You know what I'm saying? So they're responsible. That's kind of how immediately when my brain goes. But when they pull out this work order that I didn't get, it's like it doesn't matter what happened beforehand. That's what I was supposed to fucking do. And I didn't see that. And that's what the person who paid for it expected. And I could go down the line and try to figure this out and blame somebody.
Point fingers at somebody else.
But I'm the one who put it on the floor. I'm the one getting paid to do it. I can see what's right and what's wrong. I got to get it right now. Yeah. And, you know, there's an attitude there for a second, kind of like your thing is like, I know that I'm right. Mm-hmm. But when they showed me that I was wrong, or when I figured out I was wrong, I just had to accept it. It's just literally, I'm sorry if I came off with any type of, you know, like I didn't accept it or like I wasn't going to. Like it was your responsibility. And I kind of just turned around and did my job, made it right. And it was hard, you know, to do that. And there was like 3 times that happened on that project because it was just that mismanaged. But if I was doing my job to the fullest extent, like, it was just a freak accident. Every time I showed up, they told me instead of giving me the work order, and I accepted that because I got work to do.
It's your fault for not being like, where's the work order? I need to make sure.
Exactly. And like on the 3rd work order, it was my learning lesson. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, anything that happened in this job, I can't even hold them responsible. There's so many things, and that's the only reason why we're even now, because I'm only responsible for what I did. The rest of it is whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's just for me to say I'm not coming back to this environment, and I can't hold that against them. You know what I mean? All it comes down to is what my service is and how I held myself within it. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, they're happy when I'm done because I addressed my things the way I should have. Yeah. Next time, work order. Next time, probably not working with them type of people. Yeah. I've learned that, though, to walk away. But on that project as well, I learned a lot about myself. You know, I was going through the divorce. When the weight of the world's on your shoulders, you really figure out who the fuck you are. Yeah. And I'm a crybaby. There's a reason I have a crybaby tattooed on my stomach. I am unstable sometimes. Mm-hmm. And I own that, though, and that's how I get to overcome that. And that's one of them projects where it got me to that point where I was, like, unstable. I'm, like, trying to fight the painter in the driveway while the lady that's correcting me on the jobs I'm doing wrong is walking past me. And it was just some big drama fest. But I own me all the time, right? So I walk inside and I say, I'm sorry that you had to see that. This lady's like, you're cool in my book. You did everything right as far as, yeah, some things are wrong, but you made it right. And I don't like that guy either, you know. But at the same time, if I didn't get to that point, I would never be able to keep myself from getting to that point again. Yeah. You know what I mean? And if I didn't right my wrongs, I never would have been able to walk off that job without that walking with me. That stayed right where it happened, and nobody thought anything other than what it was. Same as what happened in Florida. Because like you said, that shit's still there, and I got to learn how to overcome that. And I just got out of jail in fucking November, dude. Mm-hmm. So that part of me, like, woke back up. Just a couple months in jail, and I'm, like, savage again, you know what I mean? Like, primitive, to the extent of, and like I had to shake all that, and I'm like, how am I gonna do that? I have like actively, and that's what the content is, to be full circle. It's just these things in character and these things that we go into, our entrepreneur desires and journeys really do set us into our maturity like super quick.
Yeah.
We're not going to be 35, 40 years old in the union drinking beers on the weekends, fighting with our uncles and cousins and buddies. Right. We're going to go make money.
I'm at a spot right now where like I don't even like the weekends because I like the weeks way more than it.
I don't know what you're doing. I'm working.
Not me.
I'm working, dude.
Not me. And
I can't stop.
I wish I was working, but I wish I was working on stuff that I want to be working on things that are helping me grow, dude. Like I want to be. I'm like so like at the point where I'm ready to go to conventions, but I also want to be around when I think about what I want to do this weekend, it's like, man, I want to hang out with some people that like I want to be thinking on the weekends. I want to be thinking on growth on the weekends. I don't want to be physically working. I want to be like just bettering myself because that's like I enjoy it.
We need to go to Louisiana and sit, in New Orleans and like hang out for a weekend, and then like disconnect from this and share this without having to worry about if we're like keeping it within the lines, and that really gets you. The conventions are cool. You do that on your own. You do not need anybody holding your pocket when you go to a convention. It's so annoying because you want to be able to turn and have conversations and walk away and go into.
So when you go to these shows, you're going with someone?
By myself. I've went with people though. So I took my help to one.
Yeah.
He didn't hold my pocket long. He was like, I'm not really interested in this. I was like, okay, cool. But when he was there, it felt like he was holding my pocket. I didn't like that. He didn't like that. When my wife came, that's really what set us apart. It was like, I ain't holding your fucking pocket, dude.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. So it's a lonely game. And when I'm out there, especially where I'm at, because, dude, I hate to say this, but literally I walk up to the booth and like, Mr. Corbin Tile Celebrity. My wife is not about to do that. So that's, why we, kind of went our ways. Obviously, there was other reasons, but that was like, fuck no. That was obviously, we're going two different directions here. Mm-hmm. I'm not on this. And that's, the other part of my life. So when I show up, I'm having people from all over the world, dude. Corbin, dude, what's up? Picture, talk this. What are we doing? And I'm like, no, if I keep walking, there'll be 30 people behind me.
Cool, man.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I can't take nobody with me and do that. You know what I'm saying? I admire, and for you to be able to do the same thing, it's a good feeling because that's just your people.
Yeah.
And it sucks that
I'm going 100%. It's totally selfish when I'm going.
Yeah.
It's all for me, all for networking, see who I can meet, see what I can learn.
What dinners you can attend.
Whatever. I have no clue. And honestly, I watch a lot of your stuff, dude. And like it's something that I always wanted to do, but I just never like had the balls to do it. But also, it was just now where I started. Like it was just not too long ago I considered myself a content creator. It was actually your podcast that I changed my profiles to a content creator profile. And it was your podcast where I bought this new freaking cell phone, and like we went to lunch after it.
Yeah,
you remember? And I was like, dude, I think I'm gonna buy a new phone.
Yeah,
I need a better quality phone.
Yeah,
and I hate cell phones, and like I don't really care about social media, but I know the importance of it, and that's the only reason I have it. Social media or cell phones at all, like. If it wasn't for the two things of me wanting to give back and impact the world, I wouldn't have either one of them. But it was because of your podcast and our lunch after that I was like, I'm freaking doing it.
That makes me happy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
I'll tell you, we'll bring that back full circle to.
I forgot I did that.
Spiderweb happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that makes me happy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you telling me that because that's why I'm here, dude. I'm stoked on you doing what you do because you came and talked to me. Somebody put this together and it just happened and I'm really that dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm gaslighting in the human form. I want to see everybody win. I got my own shit to work on. I can't be negative, cynical, whatever. But at the same time,
it's so energy draining to be that way.
It can be, but at the same time, it is who I am, and the testimony is the transformation.
Yeah.
And everybody fucks with it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, dude, sorry whenever I'm not this dude, but fuck with me whenever I am who I'm going to be. And they're like, yeah, dude, we're on the same journey. You know, so it's like, I hate to call them ducks. But the only reason they're ducks is because they're following me because I have the confidence. I don't even have the confidence. I have the courage to do these things and fail and get back up and fail. And it is what it is. But when I hear you say it, I'm like, dude, you don't even come from my background.
Yeah.
You know, you just come from the same area.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the same drive.
Yeah.
And you're doing it. And that does make me happy. That's where the tile stuff makes me happy. I don't know where I was going with that to the extent of the conventions are cool, make them about you.
Yeah, totally am. And I love networking. I love talking to new people. And I love talking to people that are passionate about what they're doing. And then that's why I love our podcast so much, because a lot of people that come on my podcast, they don't make content. Right. So the ones that come on my podcast that like making content, I love the podcast that much more, because that's a whole thing. That's a whole learning thing that I'm trying to get better at and learn and be involved in. And also, like, some days I do get wrapped up in, and it's not much, but I have to like shake it out of my head and just be like, just love to learn the journey.
Yeah.
Love to learn like the hustle of getting, more followers, or making the better videos, or learning. Yeah. I love it too, man. I don't care about my subscribers. I don't care about my likes, but
it's actually pretty
fun.
Impressive, just so you know, though. You're like right behind me, dude.
On YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube, but that's impressive.
I appreciate it.
That's because this is a machine. And not everybody's got the creative itch, but that doesn't matter, because we're working on machines.
Yeah.
And you're working with machines. And the creative touch comes with the appreciation of self. So the more that you become comfortable with you, the more that you're going to be willing to share that with the world, and then you're going to just kind of scratch your own itch. I see you doing it already. I see some more content coming out that's a little different out of your comfort zone. I think that's what's really going to build that community for you, because there's other people that are just like you, just like there's other people just like me.
Here's my worry with some of my content. Because I'm glad we talk about this, because I got a couple things for you. And this is something that, this is why we need that group that I can talk to in. But it's got to be something I'm comfortable in. Okay. It's got to be the ones that, like, everyone in it has got to be in it too. Right. And if I think there's people that aren't in it, like me, I'm going to be a little more, not that I care, but I'm just going to be more hesitant to it.
You should be. Discernment is a tool.
So I'll come back to the other one. But the first one is my problem with my content is that I want to podcast, I want to vlog, I want to make video games, I want to make TikToks, I want to just do like random reaction videos. I want to do it all. I don't want to be tied down to one thing. I love making gym content. I love making gaming content. I like drinking. I like doing everything. I have so many hobbies, so many things I love to do. I love lifting. I want to get into jiu-jitsu, traveling. I think travel vlogs would be fun to do. I think side-by-sides, boating. I think kayaking. I do so much. It does come with time, but
master one.
Yeah, I guess
move to the next.
That's my thing. Is I'm this morning. I was up. I had to grab a podcast. I was gonna edit today at the gym, but just couldn't. But I was gonna download a game so I could make a video on it tonight. But it's just it's one of those things. It's okay. So this leads into my other question. My channel. Right, I'm King Ryan Wilson on YouTube, and I chose the name because Oakley Corbin there's not a lot of Oakley Corbins in the world. No, there's not. It's a pretty unique name. I'm sure there probably isn't one more out there, right? But not a lot of them. Right. Ryan Wilson,
probably a million.
There is.
Yeah,
professional everything.
Yeah,
soccer player, football player.
I was gonna say football players, everything.
All kinds of stuff. And so it's if I put Ryan Wilson on there, I'm gonna at the bottom. If you type in Ryan Wilson on YouTube, I'm not going to pop up. So, or anything.
Right.
Instagram, Facebook, anything. So I got to have a unique name that fits with me, that correlates with everything. But I don't want, if I was just doing podcasts, I don't care. I'd rather, I'm going to slow grow and do what I want than grow fast and only do podcasts. That's just who I am. I'm not going to do, unless I'm doing exactly what I want to do, I'm not going to be happy.
You got to think of the algorithm. And it's everybody likes me, dude. But not everybody likes my friends. Mm-hmm. So I can't just bring them with me everywhere I go. So you can't do that with your content either.
So, okay. I think you're going to answer my own question before I answer. Because I was going to ask you for a name.
Yeah.
What I should name my channel. Because Joe Rogan podcast is... I don't like King Ryan Wilson. I think King is... I think it's just cocky to put king on my name to make it sound like I think I'm higher than everybody else. So I'm better than somebody
It's
else.
like an authoritarian aphrodisiac almost.
Yeah, I don't like it.
No.
I don't like the people that people might think that I think I'm above them, because I don't want anyone to think I'm above them.
But you could always spin on it. You know what I'm saying? You could take, I mean, the world does it already, but we're not going there. But you could take it and make it for what you want it to be. Like, I'm not a king of all sorts. I'm a king of this thing, and that's like entrepreneurial journey. I'm the king of my journey, and I call my son a king. I call myself a king. So it just depends on what your idea is behind your channel.
Yeah.
Now, video games, I'm not associating kings with video games, but I do associate millionaires with video games. But I'm not going to be like, bro, lead my country. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm not going to have my family follow behind them. So the message, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't fit. But if your shit is this, I mean, I think you're crushing it. So why not? It all depends on where you're going to see it going. And you get to take it and spin it.
I've been wondering if I should just do like my main channel that I'm on right now with the podcast, if I should just do Ryan Wilson podcast on there, and then just start another channel for Ryan Wilson Gaming.
Yes.
And just have
That's
it
what I'm
two
doing
different-
right now.
And then
You
Ryan
see it?
Wilson vlogs. It just sounds like a lot.
Slowly.
Yeah.
You see, look at these other guys. Look what they're doing. Theo Von is doing his thing. He's also doing stand-up and goes and does other people's shit. Joe Rogan does the same thing. Everybody's out there doing it. You know what I mean? So
Did you watch the Jane Johnson podcast?
I watched some of it. Actually, I was going to make a point about that. Like, I didn't bring you anything cool because he brought you like a backpack of shit. But I was like, I got this notebook that I was going to make some notes on before we got started. But you guys actually did everything I was going to say we should do. Right? Like, you want to get started? Yeah, hit record now. Let's go. And then we didn't have to do that. So, but yeah, I watched some of it, but not all of it. I'm ADD. I can't keep up with the whole thing.
I totally get it.
Why so?
He's just a cool guy, super cool guy, but he talked about it. He's like, you know, we talked after the podcast, but also on the podcast. I don't know where it was, but he was kind of saying the same thing. He's like, have your one channel for podcasts. Start another channel for this niche thing. And he does, he's a trampoline performer. Okay. You probably know him.
Yeah, he did a call with Anthony at one time. And that's how I seen him. And then I've got him on there now. I don't know what he does, but I know that he does some type of influence.
So
shit.
he still does the trampoline performances, but it's all just it's just gig work. So it's just like, hey, can you come out to Vegas this weekend and work? He'll go do a weekend, and then he's not doing it full time.
Okay.
Because he just had a kid, and he wants to be around his wife and his kid more and try to just be more present, I think.
Right.
And then he also sells a thing called Taka, which is like the drinks.
Okay.
So it's another
MLM type thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Multi-level marketing. And it was just one that he got behind because he really liked it.
Yeah, get behind him. Push him if you can.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think if I don't know if I would do it.
Ambassador type situation.
Yeah.
Same.
But I think for someone that wants to do it, I think they can do really well in it.
Yeah.
So like
some people live that already.
Yeah. So like cool. Great. I think it was a good product. He gave me some of them. The rest of the week I drank one every single day until I ran out. I have so much product that it was good stuff. I have so much product already that it didn't make sense for me to buy more product, just because of my gym and everything. Right, you buy so much. But then,
so he's got different platforms for.
He does that. Yeah. Things. So he had his main YouTube channel.
Okay.
Which I think was probably just like James Johnson, and he was doing his trampoline stuff on it, but he was doing vlogs on it too, and I really liked them. They were cool vlogs. And then when he came on the podcast, I didn't know it, but he got real big in the disc golf, and he made a whole channel for it, and it's called Flippy James. And I mean, the videos are great, and that's how we talked about it, because I was like, why didn't you just put it on there? And he's like, well, I know the importance of niching down. Yeah. And you know, his channel that has not even close to how many videos that I have on mine. Already, all his videos were getting way more because they were on a niche group of thing. People were searching for it, and that's why he was getting 2,500, 5,000 views per video. Right. And only having 20 videos versus me.
Shorts or long form?
These were like long form YouTube. Okay. Yeah. He does do shorts.
I know
advertise
he's
and stuff.
smart, and I know that he's an entrepreneur because I've seen his energy in his face.
Dude, his energy is next level, dude.
So I bet he's using keywords, and I bet that he's done the work and the research. And I could probably help you do some of the things that he's probably doing to get that to work. And you just have to do what's already been done.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why niche content's so particular.
I just get so confused in it.
You have to understand that you're doing a podcast right here.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So you got to move from there. Now, what you do, vlogging and gaming is the same. You know, reviewing and vlogging is the same. Those can go hand in hand. You can vlog and review at the same time. But you can't, and you can vlog and podcast at the same time, to be honest. You can do short form on your long form channel, but it can't be short form content about gaming, long form content about podcasts. You need to take the other niche and go to a new handle and then rebrand that entire thing. But that's beneficial to you because we don't just want the Ryan Wilson Podcast LLC web. We want 6 individual streams of income. That's what we want, right? So there's 2 right off the bat. Ryan Wilson Podcast in the future one day, probably. It's going to happen. I see the vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's going to happen.
We grow a little bit on every video.
Yeah, so you're going to have support soon. You know what I mean? It's going to be profitable. That brand does its thing. The other one's going to need its own thing. You know what I'm saying? As it grows, it's going to get its support. It's going to have its backing by whatever. You know what I mean? Nobody from Nintendo supporting your podcast about whiskey. You know what I mean? Maybe if you had millions and millions of subscribers, but that's not where we're at. So we got to think of niche branding.
So because Logan, Prime was able to get supported through Logan, but he vlogged for years. He had this big following already,
Right.
so they're following him through wherever. But if he was just starting out and he was starting Prime,
He's
and he
a
was
billboard.
yeah,
You know what I mean? He's a billboard.
Yeah.
And so is anybody with 100K followers. I'm a billboard. They hit me up. They want a video from me right now for TikTok success. At 25,000 followers, you want a video on TikTok success? You just want anything from anyone out there doing it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And if there's eyes on you, you're a billboard. And you can make money. It's for real billboard money, too. It's like $500 for a 30-second video. That's billboard money. You know what I mean? So,
you do that?
yeah.
Did you do that,
Yeah, I do it all the time.
dude?
Yeah. I sell 30-second video stories I made in Floor and Decor because I'm already getting the shit for free. Hey, guys, this is what I'm doing today. Getting this and this and this and this to build this shower. This is what I got. Have a good day. Save them to my phone. Edit them. Send it in for $500.
Do they reuse the same video often?
They tell me when to post it to my socials. Add the paid partnership ad. I'm waiting on a payment still because there's something fucked up with it. But I just did my second one. They want me to do another one now.
Can you say how much?
$500 each.
Whoa.
Yeah. Dude, I got a picture right here of me checking out of a cart at Floor and Decor, and it's just all zeros on the machine. And my buddy the day before was like, this is when the drama's going down. He's like, why do you do this? I'm like, dude, you know why I do this. And I was sitting there. I'm like, you know what? I'm sitting in this picture because this is why I do this.
Yeah.
That's $1,500 right there. I texted him again today. I'm about to get $3,000 worth of shit on the next one. This is why I do this. You know what I mean? I shared a thing to my story the other day. It was from Scarface. It's like influencers charging customers for materials they got for free. And it was like them laughing at each other, counting all this money. I'm like, yeah, it's like that.
Yeah.
I'm talking 11 to 15,000 a month by myself, all profit.
Yeah.
Because
That's awesome.
Because I'm a content creator.
And the fact that you can share it,
yeah.
to like they're okay with you sharing it is so cool because that right there is going to be what helps other people.
Yeah.
Like that's right there is what is like other people are going to see it and they're going to start doing it and using that product. But they also know, hey, if Oakley can do it, maybe I can do it too.
Yeah. And I shared that
And
link
they
to our
can.
group.
And they
just so
can.
you know. You guys can access that money too, if you want it. All they want to do is see. They just want you to make the video. There's calculators out there that will share how much money you should make or charge for each video. I say fuck that. I'm charging as much as I want. I got a little bit of some numbers behind me, so I can kind of do that. And my engagement's through the roof. You know what I'm saying? My content's kind of controversial, so I don't get all the followers.
I think that's why you get followers though.
That's why I get support.
Yeah.
But I don't always get followers. I'll smoke a joint in the middle of a story on my business page because I don't really care. I'll nonchalantly do it. Or say something about smoking weed or wearing fucking slides to work, and I'll see me drop 3 followers. And it's like, hey, whatever, dude. They weren't supporting me for real anyway. You know what I mean? So, Anthony, no, First Form.
Oh, yeah.
What's his name?
What is First Form guy's name?
Andy
Frisella.
He says, I'll support that 1,000 over that million any day when that 1,000 actually fucks with you. My 6,000, 7,000 on Instagram, fuck with me. I sold $500 in shirts.
Cool, man.
No problem.
Yeah.
I bought one. Making a link. Yeah, I got others if you want one. I don't know if you want to turn one into a flag, blanket, whatever. Some triple XLs at the S. By posting buy a fucking shirt, bro, on my story, literally I sold shirts. One of my buddies, Ryan Crenshaw, he was like, dude, I wasn't going to buy a shirt. But then you kept telling me that you were selling them and they were going to go out. And then you, like that, buy a fucking shirt, dude, on every video. Eventually, I had to buy a fucking shirt. And I'm like, yeah, dude. That's me. That's what I'm doing. I'm in your face. You're going to buy the fucking shirt. Yeah. Let me keep making the videos, dude.
I bought it just because I wanted to support you.
And that's
I was like, how cool, man.
And I'd rather just send a shirt to somebody, too, that is supporting me, that ain't got it all there right now.
You should do some giveaways, dude.
I'm about to. I was going to do one at 7,000 with Grabo. Grabo's another one of the people that support me. Old hardcore scene. I'm fucking just partying with them in Florida. You know what I mean? Like, these are my people. This is my culture. This is community that I've built through this content creation. They've given me 6 Grabos. I talked to you about that last time. So I got like 2 that went missing. 2 I've sold just so a guy can have them. And I got 2 brand new ones. And I got to use them, but I'm going to ask them for another one because they'll send me one. And 7,000 followers on Instagram because everything else is whatever. Instagram's really where I fucking care about. I'm going to do a giveaway with like probably a Grabo. Maybe I can get another bucket saver. That thing I just did a video on. Just a few things, just to give out. And just.
Is that the weird little plastic thing on the end?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's totally useless, dude.
Is it?
Yeah, he sent it to me. He's like, I want to send you this thing. And I'm like, all right.
I seen it the other day. It grabbed my attention, but I never watched it.
Dude, it did good on views.
Does it clip on?
Just clips on.
What's it supposed to do?
Scrapes your trowel against it so that you don't scrape it against your bucket and then have it all running down the side.
Gotcha.
Scrapes it right off and back into the mud, stays fresh.
Gotcha.
Instead of drying on the side of the bucket.
Yeah.
It's a cool idea. Great.
Yeah.
But it's in the way. It's in the way, dude. It's such a, like, put it on my water bucket. Okay, now I can use it. But, dude, they gave it to me for free. They just wanted me to try it. I gave them my honest opinion. I said, dude, the magnets need to be better. It's in my way. This thing goes on the water bucket.
You do it live or just a recorded video?
So I opened the one, live on my story. I'm very comfortable with all this shit now.
Yeah, you do lives a lot?
I used to. That shit's annoying, dude. On TikTok, they'll be talking shit on me, and that's it. This should be finished sometime
That's
next
hilarious,
year.
Dude. I wish people would hate on me, dude. I don't care. Bring it on.
3,000 people at a time. I mean, I've had 10K.
Just hating?
Be nice to him, He's doing a good job. Oh, sometime 2024.
Was this TikTok or Instagram?
TikTok.
Live? Yeah, TikTok.
I don't ever do Instagram Live or anything meta gets shut down with music in the background.
Ah, I see.
So I don't live on any of that. I will live. Podcast is live to Facebook and to
I thought about starting
YouTube.
to upload my podcast to Facebook.
Yes. Live stream, dude. Stream.
I can't.
Yes, you can.
I have 2 megabits per second upload.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Oh, I bought Starlink. I bought Starlink.
You gotta figure it out, dude, because that's what's gonna. People will
Hold me back. I can tell you that right now. If I was in a place that had better internet, I'd do it.
Just come to my house.
I'll tell you what I am working on right now. Give me the opportunity, and I'm working on it. I got a plan, but I don't know how long it'll take or whatever. With this new product, it has to do with podcasts. Okay. And this is my plan. If I can get the product going, I already have one prototype. I'm going to show you after the podcast.
Okay.
I'm going to see if you can help me come up with an idea for the name.
Okay.
And just see what you think of it. But if I can get the product going, if I can launch it where it just shows that it's making money, that's all it needs. It doesn't have to make a killing. It just has to show that it has a inkling of doing something. I'm going to put my business up for sale, my gym up for sale. I'm going to exit out of it because I'm $500,000 in debt from it. I'm going to get out of that debt, and then I'm going to take those profits. I'm going to buy another building that's in town because my product has to do with podcasts anyway. And I'm gonna buy a facility to make the products, sell the products, do the marketing for the products, for this, like ship them out of there, do marketing, sales, everything out of there. But I'm gonna put a podcast studio in there. I'm gonna make sure the building is in a place that I can have damn good internet, and my studio's moving there.
There you go.
So I can have a public place for it, and I can have better internet, so I can do things like that.
So we can talk about that, more in depth afterwards, because that's the importance of the table, man. Like, you know how much more money you can make if you're already gonna have all that shit going on. All you need is molds, and now Gunlock's manufacturing in your factory because you have the equipment to do so. So it's like, dude, that's genius. You know what I mean? You have your idea. So many things come from these little ideas. These are not self-sustaining ideas. None of these passions usually are going to just stand alone.
Yeah.
You have to be creative. This is the entrepreneurial life. How do I pay for my gas and time that I waste doing this? With the other things, that other avenues that are, nobody knows that I'll make a video about TikTok success because I'm not going to post it all over the place as if I'm like Jake Paul or Logan Paul. Mm-hmm. It's just going to be something I squeeze in there real quick, and it's going to make me $500. Nobody will ever know. Nobody has to know whatever you're doing outside of your dream, because whatever you're doing in that building, like you said, with all the things you're going to have going on, can serve so many people. And it's just the idea of, you know what I mean? Because like you said, you're not looking for the money, but my brain's always looking like, I can help you make money though. I
gotta have the money to pay the bills.
That's it.
I'm not looking. I don't have a brand new truck. I don't care. I'm not thinking about a new car, new truck, new house, nothing. But I do need it to eat at night.
Yeah.
I do need it so I can go buy another microphone.
Right.
So I can up my game on my podcast, or another camera, or I can pay an editor, or I can pay someone to come and sit here with us while we edit these videos, or something. I need the money to keep me moving forward and keep bettering myself. But that's all I want it for.
I think that when you get there, there's gonna come a point where you're gonna have to. It's just like a constant hole, man. I mean, you're not digging a hole really, but like in my opinion, that's where I got to this content, man. I'm trying to capture the things that really make me happy. Like you said, I don't have all the car payments. I mean, I do have car payments, but I don't need them. I have 3 vehicles. I could get rid of whichever one of them at any point, any time. Those don't make me happy. They don't break me if I don't have them. But they were something I had to work for. And working for them made me feel good. And when I got them, I did feel good for a minute. And maintaining them makes me feel really good too, to be honest. And just looking at them makes me feel good, to be honest. But not good enough. What really I've noticed makes me feel good is like putting aside the worry and the doubt of, can I pay for all this, and looking off my front porch at a sunset smoking a joint, man. I'm like, this makes me happy. Mm-hmm. Not even just that. Appreciating that moment makes me happy. Like that I can sit there and go, this is enough. And that's why I make the content. Yeah. Because that's all it says. This is enough.
Yeah.
And that's like, oh, that makes me happy. Because I do work hard, and I do want to bring all this shit to fruition. But like we've talked about, there's like a lot that comes with it. There's me, there's them, there's the idea, there's the obstacles, and that's exhausting. So when am I just going to be happy? And what can I go to?
I don't think there is. Happiness isn't a constant state.
No.
It's up and down, right? So I think you have to keep pursuing it. I think it's something that you have to. That's why I want a business that doesn't cap. I want a business that is infinite, that is always has room for growth. There's always a new place in the world, or a new, like something new you can add to the line, or something. Like I enjoy business,
right?
And that's why content's cool too, because you can always make content.
Yep.
There's always another podcast or another video or another TikTok or something you can always make. It's endless, and then that's like, I think that's where it's at.
These conversations are already being had. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And there's enough of us now that we need to hear them. You know what I mean? And some of us ain't willing to sit down at the tables yet. And so for us to be able to sit down and have this talk and give it back to the world, it'd be hard to not let that be fulfilling, to an extent. But at some point, you got to remember you got gas tank too. You know what I mean? And while this is filling it up, it becomes a job after a while.
Yeah. I took a 2-week break a while back.
And
I was burnt. Dude, I had a week of podcasts where I wasn't in it. even when I was getting off of it, my girlfriend was like, dude, I could tell. Like your brain wasn't there. Like I'm here, I can talk, I knew how to conversate, but my energy wasn't there. And like I don't think anyone could ever tell. But I tried to I didn't stop quick enough, and I already had stuff piled up, and I was hitting the brakes because I was already burnt out, but it just couldn't end it. And then I finally got to the point where I tried to take one break one week, wasn't it, and the next week I had to take another break because I was like, I just need some time to reset.
I'm almost on a year, dude. I mean, trust me, I've done my interviews. We've done 2 in 6 months. I'm not totally out the game. But with what was going on in my life and I did like 20 interviews and like 6 months or something, something ridiculous for just boom, did it, And I'm like, okay, I'm burnt the fuck out. I hate everybody. I don't even know if I like the people I did these interviews with anymore and all that. I stepped back, and then when I'm getting into it, I feel way better about it. Now, I had the same insecurity on the way over here. Am I just going to be so self-centered this whole time I'm not listening to Ryan? I do that, especially in my own podcasts. I'm so fucking stoned sometimes, dude, that I'm just like, I didn't even pick up any of that. And that's one of the things I'm like, all right, dialing back in that area of my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, God, I know I'm right where I need to be when I need to be doing the things I'm supposed to, but I'd be damned if I don't know when I need to stop doing something. And it's like, okay. I want to be present for the moment. I don't want to be on autopilot. And when you're just in that creative mode, holding myself accountable, it's the schedule, this is what I'm doing thing, and then like you notice it, I'm burnt the fuck out. And if you keep that up, you'll lose. Like that's where I was. Mm-hmm. I was like, fuck that. Now I have to take such a break from it to reestablish what I want. So when I come back into it, that passion that I left with is still there.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at. You know what I mean? That's why I hit you up. I was like, dude.
Yeah, you did hit me up.
Yeah, I'm like, I know it's there. And I'm like, okay, I got an interview in.
Yeah.
I got the coverings interview in. This interview I'm going to steal from you, and I'm going to post it on my shit too. And now I got 3 interviews. Right. Okay, now I'm going to crank in some old ones.
I can put it on your phone too.
Yeah.
So you don't even have to, I don't have to try to send it or nothing. I can put the best quality on your phone before you leave today.
Well, whatever we got to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Make life easy on you.
Just make it, yeah, please do. You know what I mean?
Because this podcast, if I stay to schedule, it won't come out for like another 2 months.
That doesn't matter to me.
I'm backed up.
Just send it to me, and I'll release it after you release it if I have to. But the thing is I just need it.
Yeah, you can.
It needs to be in the
content
arsenal. I got other interviews that I need to take down, like sit down and actually rip that were old that I never did right with, and get those out there too. So I got the work and the things I need to do already. But if I didn't sit down here tonight and do this, man, it took me weeks to get my internet on my new house. I was fired up. I'm going to get it. And then, I had my brother come over. We were going to do one together. It was going to be hilarious. Internet's out. They ran over it with the fucking backhoe when they were grading my yard. And I'm like, oh, great. Guess we're not doing this anymore.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, so I was like, fuck, okay. But not only that, though, dude, I was working and smoking weed and trying to help people. And I put the internet off the phone call to the charter for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I could have had him out there that day.
I put notes on my phone so I don't get like that.
My buddy in California was like, dude, I had to get a book. He's like, the phone thing works if you can work it. I'm like, man, I forget where
Works
it's
good
at.
for me.
He's like, get a book. He's like, you might be a handwriting person. You might need to write it down. I'm like, you know what? I do retain some shit just a little bit better when I write it down. If I put it in my phone, my notes, there's notes in there, but I never look at them again.
Yeah. No, I'm religious with my notes. So I got one. This was my note right here. Just on daily list of things I need to do. These are all daily things. My underground fence has been on there for about 4 months now. Still haven't got it done, but it's at the top.
Okay.
So I have wipes for my gym. I got to order wipes for my gym. I should have done that 2 days ago, but I still haven't. Little piddly things, daily things I need done. Because I'll just see the wipes as I'm walking by, and I'll be like, oh, I need to order some because I'm about out. So I don't have the time to go order it on my computer, but I have time to go type it in my notes so I know. Because there's times where I have things I need to do on my computer, send emails, order stuff, do whatever, update something. So I have all those things that I'm like, I need to do this, but it's time consuming to stop what I'm doing and go do it. But I think about how I need to do it, so I write it down. But dude, I got freaking notes on all all kinds of stuff, dude. I have workouts. I got all kinds of stuff on here too. But I have
Maybe that's why I'm short circuiting out, because these are my notes, dude. You know,
3 of them.
but I got like this thing typed out to send for podcasts. This is my routine. It's actually even switched up. I got it written down to where it's now just 4 things, because I have to keep it simple. And it's got to be easy to do. This right here is almost too much. So anyway, these are the things in my hashtags, in my materials, and nothing else. That's it. It took me 4 weeks to order 2 brackets for the glass that I'm going to need to install at the end of the week.
Because you just keep forgetting it. You didn't think about
forgetting.
it. Yeah, you need to write it down, man.
I need to write it down.
It's a game changer.
And I put it off. I procrastinate. Trust me, I talk that game like I'm on it. No, dude, I seen a meme that said this too. I'm just as bad as everybody else. I do eat snacks twice a week when I would rather eat them 0 times a week. I do eat 40 times a week, probably out, rather than cook my own food. You know, there's just other conscious choice I make to make that right. So it's like, I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
You know? So.
I think when you're like, if you're gonna be busy, you gotta have a system.
You do.
You gotta have something to keep you
Routine.
organized.
You have to have a routine.
Yep.
That's the basis.
Yeah.
Then you realize, fuck, I need a system.
Yeah.
That's really.
I have a
the truth.
routine for sure. I learned that a long time ago. I really learned that
About 3
my
years
routines
ago.
Really.
Yeah.
See it no, and I changed mine up. But dude, I was so hard on a routine that I would go to bed at 9 o'clock and I was asleep by 10 o'clock because I was ready to hit the day the next day. And when I started staying up past 10, because I was going through some like depression and anxiety and just fighting demons in my head for just random things that were going on, I was staying up to like it went from like 10 o'clock going to bed to because my mind's racing till 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. And, you know, like I was just hating it, dude, hating it. But, you know, I learned to adjust, and now like midnight is nothing for me to go to bed. And like, I just know, but I've adjusted my schedule, and I don't start my workday till 9. I'll get up and I might make a TikTok, or I might do some stuff at my house. I might get up at 7 or 6. And you're not going to get an email from me. You're not going to get a text back. You're not going to get a call till 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Because that's when that part of me
I resonate with that hard.
starts my day. Everything else is on me for then.
I'll let you know when my day started usually if I'm working with you. You know, like I'm dropping my kids off at 8, whether or not they're with me or not. That's the situation. Mm-hmm. Do not bother me until my kids would be at school. Mm-hmm. And from there, you know, I take on my day. I wake up way earlier than that, don't get me wrong, but because I need that time now. But I didn't always have that. Like that routine, I had to learn. Like I used to be, even running a business, because my business is whatever, dude. It's like literally anybody could do what I do. I would wake up at 7 o'clock, 6:30, whatever, roll right out of bed when the guys were rolling up to my house and hit straight to the work van and get to the city. I'm in work all night. You know what I mean? Just repeat, do that. No, that added to my problem. I was just kind of not making it anywhere. Now I'm like, dude, I woke up at like every hour last night, and I'm like getting pissed at myself for the fact that I can't sleep through the night. When there's other nights that I fucking sleep fine, I wake up exhausted. Yeah. You know, and it's like, but still, if I make the choice to wake up every day at 4:30, 5 o'clock, 5:30 at the latest, my eyes are up, and I'm planning to make my bed, my day's cool, dude. It is so easy. Just that one thing. Wake up by 5:30. Eyes open by 5:30. Out of bed by 6. Bed made before I walk out of my bedroom. Usually hygiene follows that. It's like one has to follow the other. It's just idiosyncrasy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Jordan Peterson talks about this. Like, clean your room and everything makes sense. Yeah. Like, what do you do after you clean? Oh, you brush your teeth. Yeah. No, what do you do in the mirror? You look at your face. Now you know it's dirty. Now you know when I get home I got to take a shower. Maybe I can do one right now because it's early enough, whatever. And you feel good and confident. And I started to learn these things. And now it's like, okay, I get my protein in now. I'm responsible for my own diet, so I have to make sure that I drink at least like 40 grams of protein, 20 to 40 grams of protein every morning, because I may skip that meal because I may like get sidetracked. So I have like 3 things I have to do every morning so that I'm at least somewhat whole during the day. Mm-hmm. And that's wake up, get that little bit of nutrition in, and then some type of meditation, usually stretching or creating. And that changes too, as things go on. Now when I create, I don't listen to Morgan Wallen. When I create, I listen to lo-fi.
Yeah.
You know
Lo-fi
what I'm
girl?
saying?
You know Lo-fi girl?
All lo-fi, anything.
Yeah.
Any aesthetic.
You know Lo-fi girl on YouTube though?
No.
Oh, you need to check out Lo-fi
You
girl.
can show me. Usually when I look up get lo-fi on YouTube, it's lives and weird shit. So
Yeah, Lo-fi girl's live all the time.
so I never listen to it, but I do look for a lot of lo-fi albums, like playlists within Apple, because you're gonna find some type of creators that create these type of soundtracks, and I kind of let those direct and identify where I'm at right now, because some it'll be like rainy day, and it's like that's not my vibe. It's like I want to be on Young Dolph because Young Dolph brings energy, and I'm like. But today I'm not thinking about all that Young Dolph shit. I really don't want that outside source or influence. I really just want the energy. So then I'll try to catch that vibe with something else.
Yeah.
Still lo-fi, different
Like a lo-fi
beat.
hip hop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what Lo-fi girl is. All lo-fi hip hop.
Nice. So
I like like the calmness of it, but I like the
upbeat.
the vibe, yeah, the energy. Yeah, because I'm always looking for energy.
And I found that outside influence was like you'll be listening to some shit, and then all of a sudden obviously it hits where it's supposed to, but with you at that time, it doesn't always agree with you. You know what I'm saying? It's like I love bitches and hoes and money and drugs, but like when I'm trying to be smart and creative, that's distracting. Like if I had a woman here, I couldn't do this. If I had drugs here, I wouldn't be doing this. And if money was involved, I'd probably be doing something else, right now. So I needed to be creative, and that's a non-influential type of state of mind where you're coming from the inside out, and that's where I need to be a lot of times early in the morning, because I'm a creative, soul touch, and a lot of us we're dumbed out. That's for damn sure.
You should watch the movie Where'd You Go, Bernadette?
Okay.
That's a movie you need to watch.
Okay.
It's kind of cheesy though. It's not like what you would think. Like, do you have a favorite movie that like inspires you or anything?
I'm getting into watching movies, but not really.
No.
I'm gonna ponder on it since you asked me.
Okay.
But continue.
So Where'd You Go, Bernadette is
Bam, I already got one.
okay.
It's gonna be Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting's great.
It's the one. You know what I mean?
great,
It's
yeah.
the one.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Great movie. I like that one too. Not on my top list, but it is a good movie. So I actually had like another entrepreneurial guy recommend this movie to me, and I was like, okay, I'm like, I trust what he's saying. And when I watched it, I was like, it's kind of like, it kind of had like this early 2000s movie vibes. Like it wasn't really like my style at all. But I watched it because he recommended it. And basically it is this mom who was like an artist, like this famous architect. Like she made like all these like fancy houses, everything like that. And I think she was like famous in her industry. And then they moved out of the city, moved to this town, like moved to this like random house like up on a hill that's like all like run down. And I think she had plans to fix it up, but never fixed it up. And she was just like, she has a husband that's like, I think he's like an engineer, a software engineer or something, and like a little daughter in school. And it's just like at first I'm like, what's this movie even about? And I was trying to figure out like what the title's about and stuff like that. Well, the mom, who's like this artist, like she's just like really like negative and down. She's always like, she's kind of like causing problems everywhere she's going, and she's causing problems because she like nobody understands her. Like she's not involved in like any of the school stuff, and like her neighbors all hate her because she's like, her yard's a mess, and like everybody's just around her is just hating her, and like her husband's even kind of confused, like, why are you causing problems all the time? And like, or like she was like he called her like she fell asleep like in a store in town at the medication place when she was waiting on her medication, and he woke her up. He's like, what are you doing? She's like, just waiting on my medicine. And like, she's different. She wasn't really causing problems, but she was just different. And like everybody was like wondering what the hell was up with her. And she met with one of her old friends that was like kind of like an artist or something with her, and like she hadn't seen him in 10 years. And she's like, her life like right now is a mess. And he's like, I can tell you what your problem is. She's like, what? Because she's trying to check antidepressants, all this medicine. She doesn't want none of it, but like she can't figure out what her problem is. He's like, I know what your problem is. He's like, you're a menace to society because you like to create and you're not creating.
Yeah.
So it's coming out in these negative ways, and it's pulling you down and it's making you depressed. And he's like, you need to start creating again. You need to find your passion back again.
Right.
And then, just one day she just up and disappears. And basically her daughter wanted to go to Antarctica to go on like this thing. I don't remember what it was. It's like something with penguins or like some research thing, and they had planned it, but I don't know if they were going to go. And she just up and disappeared, and she went there, and so like the end of it's just like the daughter and the husband trying to go find her, and she's like on the research team where she's not even supposed to be. She snuck onto this other boat, and she's like helping with the research, and I think it just kind of ends like with her being happy because she finally got out and started doing something she wanted again. And it's just like one of those like like wholesome, like heartwarming movies that like I love it because I love the adventure out of it. Like I love
that
like,
was that's a lot of our story. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I'm so grateful that my marriage is over because my kids had to suffer that, and so did my other half.
Mm-hmm.
That's that same thing. Like I'm sitting there dying.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, they were too. And it wasn't because we were dying, because what we were going through. We were just wanting to live. I was a creative person.
Yeah.
I can
Gears are
relate
going
to
in
that.
different directions. They were like
It's not even that.
grinding.
It's not that situation. What I'm trying to point out is the fact that that part of you dies when you don't water it.
Oh
You
yeah,
know
I
what
see what
I'm
you're
saying? So everyone has to go through that with you. You become the cynical, negative person.
That's why I think you got to be with someone. Like if you're an entrepreneur or you're a creator or something, you got to have someone that's willing to let you be you.
Are you willing to understand that this is you, though?
Yeah.
Because at a younger age, I didn't know this.
Same.
I knew I needed this freedom, but I didn't know it was because I was going to be making all this fucking money or doing all these cool things to help people and bring them along with this fucking journey I'm doing. I didn't know any of that. You know what I mean? So I had something I wanted to touch on a second ago. You had said, oh, man.
Just about the journey or the freedom or maybe not doing it, like kind of grinding gears.
So you said something about anyway, you continue because I'm going to come back to it here in a second.
Well, I think I kind of got to wrap this up because
Okay, let's do
my
it.
eyes are freaking floating right
Good.
now. I got to.
I wanted to say
piss.
my last thing for this, because I was going to say the same thing for you too, before you said that as well, because I got to drive an hour home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's 9.
you started the thing off with like, what are you doing? I see you doing it. What are you doing? And you asked me like that good favorite movie question, and dude, that movie sits so well with me when I hit that answer. Good Will Hunting. If a lot of people miss the point of that movie, and it's really only one scene, and that's when he's at the end. If you've watched the whole thing, and he says it's not your fault. That is so moving for so many people, because what anxiety I have and that I harbor, sometimes I don't even understand, and it's not my fault. You know what I mean? And there's a science behind that exact thing that he did, which was freeing him by speaking it into existence, saying it over and over and over again, actually freeing him from something that he just created himself that actually doesn't exist. That's a true thing. Mm-hmm. Now, there's a science about this. I read about it where people were sending this doctor all of these files of all their issues, and he's just opening them and reading them and saying, you're fine, you're healed, you're okay. And after like months and months, these people, they don't even see the doctor. They don't communicate with him at all. He just looks at their file, speaks these mantras over their life, they get better. Right? That's what happens in Good Will Hunting. He repeats that mantra over and over again. It frees him from that thing, and he goes and lives out the same thing that the person who is liberated lives. That's what I want with my content. You know what I'm saying? I want to... It wasn't my fault. You know what I'm saying? And I'm struggling to be happy too. And I free myself every time that I free you. You know what I mean? So when I catch your attention and you feel my pain or you feel my moment and you admit that at that moment, you relate, me living in this constant state of it's not my fault, it's not your fault, I feel like it's going to free people of a lot of the insecurity and things that are coming along with their things. So that movie kind of changed a lot for me.
I'm going to watch it again. I haven't watched it in a long time.
Watch it, man, because that's that guy. It's the same thing. It's the reckless spirit, lacking creativity. He's a genius, and he uses it the same way I do against others. Mm-hmm. But he only picks and chooses, and he repeats, but he's better at it than everybody else. And it's a defense mechanism built by a trauma that he went through that wasn't his fault. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of those that happen in our life. And some of us are able to overcome those consciously, I would say that you could say you have. I think I could say I have. But there is that thing. It's like the void is, no matter how small it gets, you still feel the void. And that's how you fill the void. Is like, to fill it on yourself, to forgive yourself, you got to help people let forgive themselves too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You got to learn what you did.
Yeah.
But you also, it helps.
And how do you feel that for them? You know, and I think that's a true thing. Like, it's not your fault. You have insecurities in your brain. That's not your fault.
Right.
Do it anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if that's what anybody got to take out of this, do it anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Be creative.
Yep.
Don't give up. Fucking do it anyway.
Absolutely. Be a doer, for sure.
Straight up.
It's the best way.
Thanks for having me out here, dude.
Thanks for coming, man. I really appreciate it. If you guys are still listening, make sure you guys like and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.